Hello. 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 How are we doing? I think we're going to start with Art versus Mixu today. As that looks like the most fun matchup in the opening stages of the bracket. Let's have a little peek at what's going on as we head on over here. So this is our bracket for the day. So we've got ourselves MJG versus Let Alex. We've got Art versus Mixu, which I think is what we're going to jump into initially. Ragnar Aussie versus Night Phoenix, and Nice versus UED Soldier. Everything our Phoenix favorites are Nice, Mixu, Art, Night Phoenix as well. So yeah, it'll be a fun little day. That's our bracket, and we are ready to kick this off and get this started. My camera is going to work, I promised you guys. Need to do a little double click. And boom, hello, hello, hello. How are we doing? How are we feeling? What is everyone up to? Good to see you guys. Good to be here. Ready to bring you guys some action as we kick off in the next few moments to get some things rolling. Perfecto. Alright, so we'll get a couple things on the go here. Like I said, I think we're going to go, I guess we go Europe for Art versus Mixu. We just go there straight away and figure this out a little. Probably makes a lot of sense. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, what we got going on? Just need to find the players, but I hopped to Europe. I don't see them yet. Art was just online on NA, so I'm pretty sure they've not started, but we will do a couple of hops and just try and make sure of that. Cool. Yeah, we'll go Odd versus Mixu, guys. I don't see Mixu just yet, but I'm sure he'll be on the way and here very shortly. So yeah, how's everyone doing? Hello, good morning, and good day to you all. Good to see you guys. Happy to be here and giving you guys some StarCraft in. Like I say, should be pretty fun. Looking forward to some games. You guys are excited for some games too. Just gonna try and, like I say, find Mr. Mixu. Try and get this figured out, guys. But yeah, we shouldn't be too long in terms of getting this started off and just getting things underway, get some things rolling, and see what'll happen. So yeah, like I say, doing some server hopping, but give me a couple moments. We'll just go wait on Europe. They're gonna play on Europe, so we'll just go wait on Europe. That makes the most sense. Beautiful. 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 Alright, alright, alright. Yeah, I'm just waiting for Mr. Mixu to show up. Alright, I'll just poke Mixu on Discord and see if we get a rough idea how long it may be, but that's what we're going to commit for. So it's going to be double elim, obviously, kind of similar to what we had the other day. So yeah, we'll kind of go through all of that and then just see what happens, see what the day gives us, see what the day brings us. Very exciting. Mixu just needs a few minutes, so just a couple moments, guys. Apparently you already messaged Art, Art didn't tell us. Art's just out here hopping servers non-stop. So, yeah. And yeah, I'm like trying to message someone and just no one's listening to me. Oh yeah. How's everyone doing? How you guys all feeling? How is your weekend turning out of you guys? Again, good to be here and good to get some games for you guys. Hopefully we'll get into some real action shortly. As we are just waiting for, like I say, Mixu to come log in, and we should be good to roll on into this final challenger bracket. Last 2 spots of the tournament up for grabs today. Top 2 players will make it. And the others, unfortunately, there's no more second chances anymore. Like, this is it. This is their last chance. This is their last opportunity, so... see what happens as we get ready to roll. In just a few, guys. Just, say waiting on the guys to come give us some action. Sweet. So yeah, well, Mixu will be here soon. I'll get this ready to go. Get ready to kick off very shortly, guys. Be some PvZ to start. We cast a lot of PvZ the last few days, I feel like. It's nice that we've seen some Zergs sign up and play, more than anything else, to be honest, so... that part's nice. Very excited, because there's also the Youth Thermal event later on today, too, so that should be pretty fun also. Yeah, fun little day of games coming through. Very exciting. Very exciting. I'm trying to see if the Youth Thermal tournament has any sign-ups already, actually. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of players. Sick. That's very cool. Love to see that. Alright, cool. Cool. So yeah, we'll be moving into some of the Youth Thermal event later on, guys. The Youth Thermal 2v2 once we finish up OSC. So just letting you guys know, that will be something that we, like I say, swap over to a bit further down the line today, and all of that goodness. Very exciting. Very exciting. Cool. What's up, more Hot Pocket? Thank you so much for the 7 stream watch streak. Very exciting. Thank you so much. Yo. Oro Ascension. Or Ascension. Oh. I'm not. My brain's not in the mood of doing names right now. I'm not. Not gonna lie, guys. My brain's just like the names, Twitch names. Blah, blah, meltdown. Long and short of it, meltdown. Yeah, Mixu's coming in a couple minutes. When Mixu's here, guys, we'll be off and into it. So, thank you for your patience. Just waiting on the players. Waiting on the players. Otherwise, how's everyone doing? Like I say, good to see you all. Good to have you all with us. Looking forward to a fun day of fun little day of game. Should be some good fun overall. Like I say, looking forward to it. Excited to see what we get. Excited to see what happens. Excited to see who qualifies, honestly. I think there's genuinely going to be some good interest in terms of how that turns out. So, yeah, I think that's going to be quite cool too. To get ready to rumble in just a moment. Myself very shortly. Sweet. Like I said, as soon as Mixu's here, we'll get going. Anyone got anything fun going on? Anything fun to talk about on the day? Anything fun to tell me? Because I got nothing. I got nothing right now. So let me know what's up. Let me know how you're doing, and yeah, would love to hear from you guys while we wait to get started here with some StarCraft. But In typical Wardy fashion, I've managed to pick the game that's going to take the absolute longest to begin, so... I do think it's the best match to pick in the first round, but... Yeah. Mixu just needs a few moments, so hopefully that's not too much longer. Hopefully we can get this started and truly get this on the way. Get this truly up and running. One can hope. One can hope. Oh. We could join Alex and MJG for a second game, but I don't know if that's going to be... I mean, at this point, I feel like we've waited so long for Mixu, we may as well just wait it out. Yeah, we'll just wait it out. We'll just wait. We'll just chill. Take it easy. Nice. That is our current game plan. That is our current game plan. Oh. Twitch chat's quiet. YouTube chat's quiet. Players aren't here. This is the definition of talking to yourself. So, you know, people get locked up for this, you know. It's so quiet. Hello, guys. Hi. Hello. What's up? Is anyone out there? Some questions. Does anyone know why currently in matchmaking you can't rank up but your MMR goes up? You should be able to rank up. Might just be bugged. That used to happen when they locked the ladder, no? You couldn't get promoted. Or could you get promoted still? There was a while where you couldn't get promoted, but the ladder locked for like the end of a season. But I don't think that's been a thing for a long time at this point, to be honest. Best of my knowledge, at least. I mean, maybe it is. I just don't know. Thanks for hosting these tourneys. No worries. I'm not hosting this one, though. This one is OSC. They hosted. I'm just here to cast some games for you guys. Shout out to them for giving me some games to cast today. And for the rest of this month, pretty much, the entire month is just filled with all of the tournaments. It's possible you have a bug where your rank is already higher than it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's a good explanation, isn't it? I like that one. Yeah, StarCraft 2 unfortunately is a very buggy game in this day and age. It's it doesn't get the love it truly deserves, you know, so there's a couple things that are a little bit balked with it overall, to be honest. Which isn't great, but what can you really do? What can you really do? Mixu's here and online, by the way, guys, so we will be hopefully starting this shortly. Meanwhile, the other round one matches, one of them's already finished. Speedy matchup over there. Ay. Alright, well, we'll get going in a couple moments here, guys. Get this ready to go. Get this ready to kick off in just a couple moments. See what we can do. Been getting back into StarCraft lately after a long time away. So many people have been saying that, actually. That's kind of crazy that so many people have been kind of in that same kind of mindset or frame of mind, or just kind of the same thing happening, basically. That getting back into StarCraft after not having done it for a while and so on. It's really sick. It's nice to see. It is nice to see. Who's my favorite to take the whole tournament today to qualify? I don't know, to be honest, actually. It's a little bit of a tough question, because I actually think that's a very... I think there's a couple players who can really qualify today. I think Nice has a really good shot at qualifying. He really impressed me during the... what do you call it? The WardiTV 2025 Championship. So I think Nice has a really good chance of qualifying. I mean, honestly, I think the winner of this matchup as well that we've got coming up right now is going to have a pretty good shot at it as well, to be honest. Like, I think it's a fun bracket in terms of, like, there's not really a very defined set of players who are going to kind of perform here. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting in that regard, to be honest. So, yeah, no, I think that's going to make this a very, very fun little situation for sure. So, excited to get into it. We are going to have both our players here now, at least, so we should have some videos on the go. We should be able to get going. Don't normally tune into these. What's the plan? Welcome. Right now, unfortunately, we're just held up by players not being ready, but the plan is there's a bracket in the linked comment, and where this is an open cup, so basically all of the games just play at the same time. We just jump into whatever we think is best, and for that right now, that's going to be Art versus Mixu, which we are pretty much ready to get into, guys. So, thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening to me yap on. And let's see what happens. A lot of PvP, though. Yeah, I think it's just a hard bracket to call. I actually think a lot of these games are very kind of evenly matched players, but also players that I don't cast as much as well. So I don't necessarily have as much of a vibe, especially in terms of how they play against each other a lot of the time, as I might usually against, you know, with some of the other top guys. So in that regard, it's like, you know, in that regard, I'm a little bit less in the know as well, right? So yeah, in that regard, it's kind of interesting. You've got Art here. He's a 5.4k. Sorry, 5.8k MMR. Mixu's currently sitting 5.1k MMR. I think that's not his Zerg MMR. Yeah, that's his Terran MMR. Well, it's not great that his Terran MMR is showing over his Zerg MMR, maybe, but we'll see what happens as we get into this series in just a few moments, guys. Actually, I think Art's been playing well. I actually think Art has a decent shot in the PvZ, to be honest. But I will cheer for Mixu to give us a non-PvP in the next round. Because we're probably just going to follow this section through. I think the bottom side's very likely to become PvP anyway, so yeah. Mixu has joined the lobby. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, Mixu's joined the lobby. We're kicking this off, getting this on the go. And we are counting down into Tourmaline. Thank you so much for the patience, guys. I'm sorry I picked the matchup that took the longest to begin so far. So sometimes it just be like that, you know? Alright, let's get into Tourmaline. Let's kick this off. Let's get this going. Let's get this started. In the bottom left-hand side, we're going to kick things off with the red Protoss player. This is going to be Art. Now let me just click a couple buttons. There we go. As he takes on the blue Zerg in the upper right corner of the map, we've got ourselves Mixu. Alright, game one of this BO3. Kick this off, get this underway, and get ready to party in to some StarCraft and see what exactly is going to be here for us today in this. So again, this is the OSC Championship Challenger Bracket C. Last chance for players to qualify into the OSC Championship that starts January 6th, aka on Tuesday. In 2 days' time, we'll start to have some of those championship bracket matches. So very much so looking forward to that. Super looking forward to getting involved and getting into all of that as well. So that should just be a whole ton of fun. Like I say, very much so looking forward to getting that on board and to kick things off in that regard. As you see, I get our simulator here initially, just going to be setting us up for the first few moments. Hatch, gas, and pool all coming in as well. So just bringing a lot of that up right about now. And a lot of this started in for now. And seeing where exactly Art wants to take us as well. He's just going to drop Nexus down. Obviously, first couple minutes, it's probably going to be pretty standard. It'll be a bit further down the line that we get to see where things are going to go and see if he kind of does anything super interesting. Art's kind of provided a good mix of matchups lately, or a good mix of PvZ. He's been glaving a good bit. He's been doing a little bit more kind of standard, just kind of Stargate stuff as well. So I'd say there really has been this kind of just pretty even mix of kind of builds from him, so kind of could expect anything going into this. It might come down to a little bit of what he thinks Mixu's going to play, or how he feels like that may go, for example. So I'm sure those are going to be some fun questions as that Overlord continues to step down to the bottom left-hand side. Cybercore is about to finish up. Queens and that link speed. continuing through for the moment. Stargate in the Nexus. I'm just going to be having the... Again, the Adept continue to come about just for a second or so. Get settled down. And that Stargate coming about. The Adept is going to go Shading, Stalker, and the Warp Gate. Continue to get into position. Again, that link speed is coming up. The hatchery on the way through. Overlord building as we speak. Queen also on the way through as well. The Adept is going to go for a Shade into the natural. Going to figure out what we can do there for the next little while. Again, Stalker, Warp Gate, all coming online. A couple of probes coming through as well. Just going to see that Void Ray has been such a dictator of the matchup lately. Being able to get the Void Ray out and deny some map control and so on with it has been a pretty powerful way to kind of play. So you know, we've seen that a good amount of the time as kind of the go-to kind of plan and how things pan out. So kind of going to be seeing a little bit of that here in this one as well. Just going to be seeing that gateway dropping down as part of the wall. Void Ray, Adept, Warp Gate all coming through. Just going to see the gate and a couple of probes coming about as well. So we continue to get that on the roll just for the moment. So the Adept is going to be there, picks off a Zergling, just going to take that down without too much difficulty. And otherwise, we're adding on the extra gateways in the Twilight Council, so just the Void Ray, no Oracle. I always feel like that's suspicious, right? Because it's like, I want to put as much gas as possible into anything that is not kind of this Stargate play. And so that sometimes I think is a bit of a tell that this is going to be the Void Ray into the Glaives. Obviously, it looks like Void Ray into Glaives for us right now, unless we do something. What could we do otherwise on this Twilight Council? Charge and then some charge pressure, but then you really need a Prism for that, at least with the Glaives. The Adepts can get across the map on their own accord a lot more comfortably, so it does not really need anything else kind of attached to it, to be honest. Just going to see the Void Ray showing up, and there is indeed the Glaive starting, so seeing what Art has done a lot of or in the last couple of days, we'll see how Mixu does about it. Yes, we'll see. Queen going to be there, just pushing things back a little bit. Just shoving things away for the moment, as we do see again Resonating Glaives coming up, and we'll see how that pans out over the next few moments here as we get this all settled. Rotron is building from Mixu. That's going to give him the chance to get roaches out defensively against this build of his opponent, so that puts you in a good position as Mixu. Having the roaches available to you is going to be a major plus. He's not going to try and get away with any kind of like melee upgrade build or anything like that, so he's not trying to rush Lings or, like I say, anything really along those lines. Like I say, I think that's actually a very good thing, because if you're trying to build melee right now, if you're just trying to build Lings, you end up in a lot of trouble against this Glaive build. So the Roach Run is absolutely the correct call. Now we just need to make sure we make roaches in time to make sure we actually have them available ahead of a fight happening. So, I mean, these Adepts are coming, and unfortunately the first 4 roaches are only just on the way, and these Adepts are already halfway across the map. Glaives is about to kick in. And is the timing of Mixu for these roaches a little off? Because 4 are going to pop soon. He's now got 16 in total on the way, but the 12 after coming quite delayed, and obviously they're going to be split up as well, so they're not going to be on a consolidated effort against these Adepts at first. We lose a couple of drones pretty darn quickly. Now a few Zerglings begin to go down as well. And we've seen 7 drones killed so far. Not a bad start. Mixu, with the amount of drones he made, obviously kind of feels like he can give up a couple of workers here probably, but ideally you still want to have as much as possible available after this. You see those roaches going to continue in and continue to look for a little bit of extra opportunity if it exists. Just going to be seeing the Void Ray is going to take a little bit more damage as well, so it's going to take a few more shots here for a couple of seconds. And the roaches will go in after the Adepts now, chasing those back out to the sides. And the Adepts will continue to get hunted down for a couple more moments. Adept shade up, roaches are going to be there, a couple of Adepts immediately going to get picked off just right off the bat, so that's going to be a quick little cleanup on that one. Now the Ling Roach looking to run around and get a little bit of a grab on this as well. So again, looking to get a little bit of a catch. And a lot of these Adepts, as you can see, are in a good amount of trouble right now. You can see the issue that they are having. Just ending up in a position where they're just getting caught. And honestly, overall, Mixu, I'm pretty impressed. 10 drones went down, 26 Lings, but he killed 12 Adepts, and now he's moving across the map with a lot of roaches. That said, a lot of roaches, but there are double Immortals being produced. We get double Robo Facility behind this, and Blink is nearly done. But the Sentry's warping in too. We're going to have Force Fields available shortly. I mean, Mixu's going. Like, he wants to send this. He's going to threaten at the front. I don't think these roaches can commit without roach speed, because they really need the ability to run onto this army and get everything in reach and target down the major units of this ASAP. At this point as well, I think you're just realistically kind of waiting for your reinforcements as well. You need as much as possible. The problem is that's going to come slowly. It means that we are going to have ourselves, Blink already finished here by the time that Art has to defend, so that's going to be a factor as well. No doubt, that's going to be 100% something that comes into play here. Will the force fields come down? Can we close the gap? I will say there's not a lot of buffer for these Immortals. So there's not a lot of units that are going to kind of tank the damage and really try and deal with this. And I think that may be the biggest issue. These Immortals just getting jumped on quickly. We're going to find a new Immortal on the left side. That's a great one to jump on because we're moving away from damage while killing that. Now Corrosive Violence down the pylon at the front. Doesn't depower anything. Okay, it depowers one gateway perhaps. It's not the end of the world either as the Roach Ravager continues to chase in. The Immortal's still in some trouble. The Corrosive Bile trying to come down again. One more Immortal getting caught. Another Immortal still under fire here. Still taking some hits. It's going to go down too. And Mixu looking to bash through this position and looking to give himself the 1-0 lead in this best of 3 in the opening round of this OSC Challenger bracket. Does he have enough to continue through? I honestly think he does. Corrosive Bile's even landing on the Stalkers is going to be such a feels good in the grand scheme of things here. He's going to be loving that situation, and I think in general he's going to be loving this all together right now as we just have the rest of the Immortal Stalker continue to gather up and getting joined together for now. Bringing a lot of that through for the moment. These few Stalkers going to get jumped on. That Immortal going to get jumped on a little bit as well. It's just going to see some of that continue to fall. 22 army supply versus the 80. It's not looking pretty. Going to lose a pylon. I mean, maybe running into the natural isn't easy, but you can go and fight the third base, and you should know here as, as Art, that you can't really give up that third base. If you're giving up that third base, you're putting yourself into an almost irrecoverable position where Mixu can just outbuild and outmass you. Because this is not a scenario where he, it's like, oh, well, at the very least we saved our tech units. No. You lost your tech units trying to save this game, and so you have nothing to fall back to if that third base goes down, and that's why he feels the need to move out into an unlikely defend, a position he's unlikely to defend on, but he doesn't really have much other choice about it, to be honest, and that is going to be the issue at the end of the day. And that is going to be the problem at the end of all of this. And that's just going to wrap this up and bring us down to this game number 1 going in favor of Mixu here. So Mixu is going to take the opening game of this series. I want to know lead for him pending in the next couple of moments. That Roach Ravager continuing through, a couple more of those probes going down. Again, just damage being done across the board. A lot being dealt at the moment. That really is going to pretty much just seal the deal. Just honestly waiting for a GG at this point. This one is very over. I mean, the Stalker's going to keep on trying to micro, and to be fair, I get it, right? Blink can do incredible things sometimes, but obviously in this case, you've got a Zerg play who's just rallying so many units across the map. These really are your only units. You have no Immortal on the way now either. There goes the battery that was obviously putting all of its life into this as well. So yeah, GG has to be called, and it is going to be Mixu to take the first game of the day here in the OSC Challenger Bracket C for the OSC Championship. Hey, what's up, Alizrem? Thanks for the stream. Hi, everyone, chat. Hope everyone has an amazing Sunday. Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing Sunday, too. Hope you enjoy the games. Again, hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. As we get ready to go into a game 2 here in a couple of moments. Thank you for, again, being here and joining, and get ready for some more action in just a few moments' time. 10,000 feet going to be our second map. Let's kick this off and get this underway as we get ready for game 2. A couple of moments. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. As you can hear, counting down, game 2 is on the way. 10,000 feet will be our map as we look to see who will advance to play Let Alex in the second round of this Challenger bracket. Let's get this underway as we dive on in and we kick this off. In the top left-hand side, we're going to start off with the red Protoss player. This is going to be Art, who is going to find himself down a map in this BO3 to start things off. Taking on the blue Zerg in the bottom right with defense against the Glaives and then the Roaches to win out. It is Mixu in the bottom right corner of 10,000 feet. Audio, watch all the ads in full. Hopefully you get that YouTube cred. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching the ads. I mean, they do help. The ads do add up on YouTube and on Twitch. That's the reason we run them. Genuinely does help the channel and the content. And January is a bit of a rough month when it comes to ad revenue, but it's a funny thing. It actually works out kind of nicely for us, right? Because while January is a bit of a rough month for me ad revenue-wise, it's a month I don't have to run a lot of my own events because the wonderful people of OSC have the OSC Championship going on. So we get to kind of, cast something that is long-term over the course of January that doesn't cost us anything, and it's a major help this month every single year, so love that OSC is still here and still doing their thing in their 13th season. If you want to find more about it in the Twitch chat, you can ! OSC. Yeah, you can check that out straight away. And yeah, they've got a link just explaining this year's championship and kind of how it's working and everything. So if you're interested in more details, ! OSC over on the Twitch chat. No hatch gas pool action coming up. Just going to be seeing the hatchery coming down, getting this underway. And next in the Cybercore still building up. The probe comes off to the sides. Can drop down the assimilator as well. Hatchery about to finish. Spawn pool still coming by. And next is just coming up. Cybercore coming through. Probably nibble at the drone. The drone will go down, so the drone falls already. Link speed, queens, the drones all coming about again, and Stargate, the Nexus continue to come about for now as well, so just get all of that on the go for the moment. A couple of Lings get straight after that probe. As the dip pulls out, just take a few moments again here to get ourselves fully settling. And Link Speed, Stargate, a couple of probes in the Adept all coming through. The Warp Gate very much so on its way out as well. A couple of Queens are going to be here to meet this Adept initially. Just going to start working through that one. A little bit more damage onto it. That Stargate about to finish up. It's going to give us the chance to pop through. And go from there. That Oracle is on its way. Just going to be seeing a couple of Queens will be hitting this Adept in return. So the Adept taking a few shots of damage already. So a few hits coming around immediately. And again, the Lings, the Link Speed coming up. The Spore Crawl and the Hatchery coming about. Creep Tumors, as we've already seen, just spreading. Early game, looking pretty standard, looking pretty typical. Nothing too crazy just yet. Spot in the lower bracket of the OSC Championship. On the line, not in this series on its own, but on this tournament today. Obviously, again, best of threes until the best of 5 qualifying match. There'll be the lower brackets. There is a second chance for players as well, which is really nice because I think that second chance is, especially in a tournament like this where I feel like so many of the guys are very similarly matched, that second chance really feels like it goes a long way and really pushes people into just a much nicer position. So happy to see that being the case. It's going to be seeing the Oracle, Twilight Council probe. We'll continue through for a couple of moments as we just have the Lings that's going to get surrounding these two Adepts. Oracle is going to have to come over to help deal with this. That's enough Lings to stay surrounding on the Adepts though, so they're going to get that. They're going to, for a moment, I felt like they were going to try and get the cancel on the Nexus. That would have been pretty ludicrous to try and go for, but they pull back around, they get themselves a probe. The Oracle out of energy, but 2 more Adepts now will make it impossible for the Lings to really do anything too much extra in terms of significance here. Another upgrade coming about. Drones and the Bane Nest on the way through. Resonating Glaives will continue to come into play here also. Nexus and the gateways continue to build on by. It's just going to get a lot of this on the way up for the moment. Zerglings will come through. And again, the Bane Nest halfway done. Lings building. Melee upgrade on the way. Queen coming out. Robo facility and a couple extra gateways continue to come through. So a lot of that on the go. A couple Oracles will move down the bottom as well. The Depth's going to get going. A couple of Lings get picked away at. And extra Depths coming about. Robo facility in the gateways. Continue to produce on by. Nexus is about to finish. Queen's just going to be the Oracle drops a little revelation down. This time we're going Glaives, and it is going to be against a melee upgrade, so we'll see what Mixu's defense looks like. We'll see if he can get himself into a reasonable position here, despite the melee not really being something that typically helps you in this scenario, so So we'll see if that can be something we can maybe work on a little bit here. Oracles move about. Again, that melee upgrade still very much so coming into play for a couple seconds, and we do have the Adepts going to continue to shade their way right down to the bottom side of the map there, so they will go. Straight to the other side. I'm just going to see the Overlord is going to be nearby. I'm going to keep an eye on these few Adepts to put a bit of damage in there as well. As Adepts peel out over to the right, trying to shade into the natural or so in these next few moments. Trying to set up for something here as the Lingbane Queen continues to gather together. Everything joining up together. We do see these Adepts firing, the few Zerglings going down. Good amounts of damage being done initially. One blink still coming in. Again, a few more drones going down. The Lings are going to be right there to try and help fight this off. Now we're going to see a few more of these Adepts just taking damage. The Lings are still trying to run in, still trying to get a little bit of something extra done. The Oracles on the right side showing up, also wanting to try and be a part of this at the moment. Now, plus team melee will continue about. The Zerglings coming online. I mean, this was fine for Mixu. This was a defense. I mean, at the end of the day, you lose 6 drones. You lost a lot of Lings, but you also clean out a lot of Adepts, so Mixu's got to come out of this feeling pretty okay. Let's try and make sure these Oracles don't find any extra damage, though. You know, it's not like Mixu's drone count is kind of through the roof or anything. He's on his way to +2 melee. He's now going to have Lings against the Stalkers that are being produced. I mean, honestly, at this point, you might want to warp in another round of Adepts just to help against the Lings a little bit. It's rough because, like, obviously Adepts can't kind of keep up with the Stalkers, right? Because the Stalkers are blinking around. They really do kind of get on the map and kind of just, you know, hold a lot of mobility and so on. But it does feel like it'd be nice if you could just kind of get away with a little bit of something there, just for once. And maybe just get a few Adepts in and just, again, something to soften up those Lings as they run onto the Stalkers can try and help solve the problem that the Stalkers so typically have. Roach run about to finish. Couple Spine Crawlers on the way through. See rocks expiring over on that right-hand side of Temple Archives coming down as well. Violence still just building up into play. A couple Spines building. The Stalkers, the Sentries, the Immortals continue to push on through, and we just clean out a little bit of creep for the moment. Again, those Spines continue to come by. I'm just going to be seeing the Lings getting a wrap around as well for the moment here to try and see if there's any extra they can continue to find for the moment. Stalkers and the Immortals going to fly through for the +2 melee upgrade, so that's going to be denied, and that's going to be this army of Art looking pretty serious, and so Mixu, he's going to lose this forward base. Got a few units rolling in on the other side of the map, heading into that mineral line. Bane's going to crash in. That's the full mineral line that's going to die. So that's definitely a pretty good moment. It's definitely going to help you out. Is it going to be enough overall? We see the rest of this Roach Ravager Bane coming through. It's going to be seeing the Queen's going to be there. The couple Oracles still taking hits as well. I mean, the Stalker's going to jump on top of the rest of these Queens too, so again, a little bit extra being done in that regard. Just for the moment. And that's going to be enough for a 1-1 tied up game, so we are going to get tied up. We're going to get this going into our next map. Get this ready to roll out. Alright, we'll go into game number 3 then, guys. It is going to be tied up then. Get into this next one and look to see what will happen. Cool. Cool. Just said Miniz missed this qualifier after barely missing qualification 3 times yesterday. Yeah, me too, man. I mean, these qualifiers are brutal. It feels like you're so close. So many people are so close so much of the time. Yeah, it's unfortunate when it doesn't turn out well. Alright, we're loading into Ruby Rock for our next map, guys, so we're pretty much set to go. And keep the games rolling. We get this underway. Kick this into action, guys. Thank you again for joining us and being here for some StarCraft doing today. Heading into Ruby Rock. I think if you went Roach instead of Banelings, you could have done the same as last game. Yeah, but he committed to melee. that's the problem with melee, right? It's like if you go melee and your opponent does a build that punishes melee, like you can't just build roaches off of melee, because then you've got roaches and a melee upgrade. It doesn't really add up, you know? Like, you're just not really set to play that sort of style. Like, everything you did was very different. Like, you know, your lair's delayed because you invest into melee instead, so you're not going to have roach speed as quickly if that's what you're going to end up trying to go for. And, like, there's just a lot of, like, because melee upgrade builds don't really need lair as quickly a lot of the time. I mean, there's just a lot of little things that kind of go wrong because it just wasn't really your plan in the first place, basically, so... Yeah. That's the power of the glaives. That's why glaives is so good. And it's almost like, you know, you're playing this rock, paper, scissors game every single time in PvZ right now, where it's like rock, paper, scissors, melee, glaives, roaches, you know? It's just this triangle of, like, you know, you play melee, it's great against the stalkers, but if they play glaives, it's great against the melee, but if they play roaches, it's great against the glaives, but if they play stalkers, it's great against the roaches. So it's like, it's not really rock, paper, scissors, there's a fourth option, right? And all these options kind of go around in a circle. Yeah, it's a very interesting matchup at the moment, because the best part of it is, as well, is that I don't think going melee is necessarily like an insta-loss against these glaive builds. You just have to be properly prepared and so on as well, right? But it plays out differently, and it, you know, it's not like... It's not like, you know, you say you go for a cannon rush and your opponent scouts it or knows it's coming, so they go cannons themselves and they have them ready. That's a terrible example. It's not like a 12 pool and your opponent blindly opens 2 gates, right? And it's just like, oh, my chance of winning this is like, you know, 10%. It's like, you know, your chance of winning this is, you're on the disadvantaged build, but it's more like it shifts to 40-60 rather than it being like 50, you know, super one-sided. So it's a very interesting matchup, because I feel like the counters are not hard counters. They're definitely beneficial counters. We definitely trend to see certain things working better against other things, and it limits what the other can do. It doesn't put you into such a position that you can't play out of it, and I think that's the really cool part of this, which is that you really do just have this opportunity, or this chance to kind of play into some really cool games from there. So, yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. A couple lings are going to go after this probe. This probe is going to get chased away over to the left-hand side, so we'll just see that again. Chased out of here for now. Pushed away. Popping out. I'm just going to be having the link speed and the warp gate continue to come through as well, so bringing a lot of that up and online. Again, that link speed, the warp gate, the stargate, little bits of everything coming through for the moment here. Get that all settled down. A couple of zerglings still building in as well. And the Oracle and that warp gate, bringing this up. Just going to see the couple of probes coming through as well. Just going to see the Stalker going to fire, and a couple of those lings will begin to go down. The probes will pull back into this. The Oracle is going to be right there to try and help us out as well. I'm just going to be seeing that Zergling still nibbling up at a probe for a couple of moments. So able to get a little bit more out of that overall. Again, link speed still about to finish up for Mixu and the Oracles as well. So we get through the very early kind of standard stages. This is the point of PvZ where choices get made, builds get picked, and the kind of entire game plan for everybody begins to get decided in general as well. So see what happens as those fuelings moving around in the middle of the map. Nexus drops down onto the third base, so we get that on the way. The Oracle and the Warp Gate still building up. Couple queens will just be there. Again, the drone's still building. The simulators coming about. Oracle will come through. Third Nexus coming into position. Just gonna have queens are gonna be there for the Oracle already, so the Oracle takes some damage. Drone's coming through. Queen on the way. Again, Twilight Council Forge and the Nexus continue to come about for the moment. So get a lot of that on the way by for the moment. Obviously, with Roach is coming up and looking to be a Blink build from Art. Do you think Art has gotten the better kind of handle of things throughout the series? Outside of that first game, Games 2 and Games 3, he's definitely heading in towards the win on the build order choices, so that's nice. Unless he doesn't go Blink here, which is possible, to be fair. Like, it's not a guarantee that that's something he's about to head directly into, so... But it is. I mean, he could have gone charge. It would have been kind of an off timing for it. Would have been a bit weird. But, it definitely looked like Blink. 5 drones go down. Just a few Adepts showing up and no answer to them at all. Mixu is going to respond to the Adept drone losses with drones, so we'll have a few lings they will clean up in the end. The Oracles gather in for a couple of workers as well, and that's a devastating little blow to Mixu. 11 workers just dropping down in this game, so a bunch of damage ends up being taken. A lot of damage done. That's a pretty major factor for sure. Definitely adds up in the favor of Art. He gets off to a strong start in this game 3, and things are looking good for him in the early stages at the moment, so that part looking good. +1 and Blink both continuing to come up and online here as well. Those 3 additional gateways coming online. The Stalkers are going to be here. They're going to fight against a few of those Lings. And a bunch of these Zerglings continue to go down too. So, Lings dropping. And +1 and Blink on the way over. The Oracle is coming about as well. I'm just going to see Roach Speed and Overlord Speed continue to come about also here right now. So again, we continue to get a lot of that into play. 2 Lings peel back over to the side. Already have the Stalkers starting to show up, so let's see what these Stalkers can get done for themselves over these next few moments. Revelation down, a couple of Cryptumors being cleaned out right off the bat, so I'm going to start there. As you just see, the Queen's still gathering, the Roach and the Ling is going to be right there with us as well. A couple of moments. Stalk's going to shoot, Hatchery will start to take some damage, and reducing the Ling Roach with those Queens gathering back up together. Roach Speed on the way, Ling Roach, Queen all on the way out. A lot of that still being brought through for a couple of moments here. A couple of Queens going to shoot, the Stalker's going to fire in return. Just have the Ling Roach Queen going to be there, and again pushing back a little bit, so going for a little bit extra here currently. Getting that on the way. You've seen the Stalker still fighting, the Ling Roach Queen still fighting. Oracle is going to take some damage on top of everything else, so a little extra coming out of this. It's going to be seeing the Oracles pulling back. A couple Lings caught in those stasis wards. Can Mixu deal with these Stalkers? So far, honestly, yes, holding up to them nicely. However, Mixu's also on only 60 drones. He's also not on any sort of future tech, not even an upgrade on the way for these Roaches. So, he's been keeping these Stalkers back, but it's coming at a pretty high cost. And the problem is over time, these Roaches will get traded out against pretty badly, and from Mixu's point of view. And now he steps big time into the stasis ward. That's not going to do it for him, as this defense is going to start crumbling. The drones pull into this. The Stalkers can blink forward aggressively because there just ain't that many units right now. Trying to take advantage of this time, though, where the units are in stasis. Where Art, do we step forward? Yeah, I was going to say, if we blink forward and we step away from those Roaches, you're basically going to leave them behind, and you can continue to capitalize. He's going to get with this Hatchery, then he can blink upwards, I guess, to get out of here. He's honestly still trading fine. Not enough Roaches really in the game currently as Mixu. 13 drones down, Hatchery falling, Art up by 20 workers, and his army definitely good enough quality to kind of keep this going, as at this point, this game is more or less decided. Yeah, Mixu agrees, he gets out of there. And Art is going to take the 2-1 to make it pretty much a PvP affair for us moving through the rest of the day. So we're going to go Art versus Let Alex. PvP into an upper bracket qualifying match. PvP into, we'll see what happens in the lower bracket if there's any non-PvP to be spoken of there. So yeah, we'll go Art, Let Alex in the next couple of moments. Kick that off, like I say, it's going to be kind of just PvP across the board for the remainder of this day for the most part, at least in this tournament. Like I say, we will be jumping into some 2v2 later from the youth thermal event, so we'll hop into that later on. But we don't have that just yet, basically. So yeah, once we wrap up the, I can't think right now. Once we wrap up the once we wrap up this, brain just dying on me. Once we wrap up this tournament, we'll be swapping over as well. 100 bits, anti-diarrhea. How many bits for me to make sure everyone hears some important shit? What kind of... I mean... If you wanted a ding on screen, it's 300 bits. I'm very curious as to what important shit you want people to hear. Ay. You guys ask me some weird questions, you know that? You guys ask me some weird questions. Alright, we'll take a moment here to figure this out. Do 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 do. Let's wait for let Alex and Art to video up, and like I said, we'll be getting into this sooner rather than later, guys. So we'll get into this ASAP. Keep this moving along. So some more games for you guys ASAP here, and like I said, kick this off. There'll be some PvP for the foreseeable future, but fun players and I think competitive matches, so it should be interesting. Yeah, nice dropped a map to UED Soldier as well, which I thought was interesting. As UED Soldier already then dispatched of Ragnar Aussie in the lower bracket, so lower bracket will be playing out while we're in the upper bracket, guys. We'll obviously drop down into that lower bracket eventually, but not for a little bit. We'll drop down there when we finish our qualifying best of 5 in the upper bracket, so that is the plan around of action. The plan around of action. Both players online on the correct server, so we should probably just be a few moments. We'll be able to kick this off. Do 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 do. I've done a lot of waiting around today. Is that what you were going for? I'm so disappointed. It didn't even work properly on my screen. Yeah. That wasn't it? Oh, I'll just delete it then. Easy. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Veto up, guys. I wanna cast some games. I feel impatient today. I feel impatient. I just wanna get into it, you know. Alright, players are readying up. So we should be good to go. Go getting cold. GLHF gets cold. Get ready to kick off into Ruby Rock. Thank you, Anti-Diarrhea, for the 300 bits and the essay. I'm not gonna read it out. And I don't have text to speech, so it doesn't really work here. You know, it doesn't have the same impact, but yeah. Thank you for the bits. WTF? Like, what do you want me to say, man? Like, just because you pay the money doesn't mean I'm gonna read it. Like, if it's gonna be vulgar, then don't know what to tell you. Alright, in the bottom right side, it is going to be our red Protoss players. Yo, sort of. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, everyone. And we're going to have our red Protoss player. This is going to be Art, as in the upper left side. Our blue Protoss is going to be Let Alex. Game 1 of this best of 3. As we get this a rumbling. See what PvP has in store for us here. See what goes down. Really excited to see what what these two can do, and to see if Led Alex can get himself to another qualifying match. He had some qualifying opportunities in one of our earlier challenger brackets a few days ago as well. Here he finishes up. Take a moment to get settled down for just a couple of moments. Nothing too crazy just yet. And just see our second gateway, Cybercore, coming online. So again, we get that up and rolling for a couple of moments right now and see where things are gonna go. Probe gonna nibble at the other probe. Stalker Sentry gonna be on the way versus just a Sentry at the moment, waiting to see if anything more comes out of that here for the next couple of seconds. So trying to figure that part out. Just gonna see the probe chasing the probe for a couple of moments as well. Moving around there and trying to see what else is going on. The Nexus down, put that in position here. I'm just going to be seeing again Nexus and the Sentry coming up. The Warp Gate continues through as well for the moment, so we get that on the way just for the moment. And let's see where things are gonna go. Accounts are going to be a choice from both players on the back of an expansion, so very standard just PvP to begin things here. From myself, we'll have ourselves the Twilight Council building up. Again, the Stalker and the Warp Gate building through. Now Nexus on the way, Probes building, Warp Gate's building. We get this up and running. So far so good. Hallucination coming by. Going to be seeing the Blink is building from Art, and the Blink will start a build in a moment here from Led Alex as well. And we get Blink versus Blink to start off this PvP, which I think is very exciting because I think Stalkers are fun. Is my TLDR of it. Stalkers fun. Thumbs up, love that. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Get that Blink going through. I'm just going to be seeing the Hallucination still flying about for a couple of moments. Couple probes coming about, the gate on the way. Again, a lot of that being brought up here momentarily. And those probes building in, the Nexus starts up from Led Alex. He's going to take a third base while Art takes on a third gateway. So if there's going to be an aggressor, it's definitely looking to be Art in this game right now. But we haven't seen an exact decision on that just yet. Okay, there's one more gateway. So it's going to be, so usually like if you're going to be the aggressor against the 3 bases, you add on 2 gates, right? And you go up to 4. But you only added on the 1. He's going to add on the extra one in the end. It's just going to be at the top side of the map. So gets it going, just took a little while to get it going, basically. As we see that Blink still coming through. I like the hallucinations, and those hallucinations have a good chance of actually finding what they need to here. Is it going to get where it needs to? Oh, yes, he sees it. The Hallucination Scout. So the Hallucination sees what's up. It doesn't give you a lot of preparation time, to be fair. I mean, this army is right here already and on top of you, basically, so still not exactly ideal. A couple sentries doing their thing. The Stalker's going to join up and get involved for a couple of moments also. I see the rest of those Stalkers and those sentries gathering as well. And we just see the Blink continue to come online for the next couple of moments. So we bring all of that through. Just going to see that Nexus is about to finish up here. So again, we get that straight into position. And Nexus and the Stalkers all coming online. Just going to be seeing a few more Stalkers warping in already. So again, bring that straight up. At the moment, Guardian Shield just fades away. And now these Stalkers continue to press on through. A couple of the probes already taking some damage. Then Blink on in. Art has a lot of stuff right now, and he's just looking to capitalize. Obviously, love it when you're talking firing down the units that are warping in as well. That is basically just a guaranteed KO because they can't be batteried or anything. They can't blink while they're warping in. Probes do pull, and obviously you can give up some probes and come out of this okay because you've got the faster Nexus. You had a higher worker count, although that higher worker count is now gone. And as Art reinforced with 4 more Stalkers, the numbers are just not fair at the moment. We have 4 gateways on the side of Led Alex at this stage. That Immortal shows up. That Immortal was kind of necessary. We're going to kill this pylon, and I think that's going to be an issue because now this Immortal doesn't have any battery healing. It's just going to get blinked on and probably cleaned out as well. As you can see, this is not exactly going to be the greatest of stories for our... well, it's not going to be the greatest of stories for our Blue Protoss led Alex in this one. I think he is looking to be a little doomed, is my TLDR of the situation. It's not feeling great right about now, as our Stalkers will get back onto this Nexus, get a little bit more done. And Art still maintains a pretty hefty lead. We have another Immortal coming up from Led Alex. If there's going to be a way for him to survive, this is probably going to be through, you know, the Immortals actually getting up to better numbers eventually, but still just not really there yet, as these Stalkers will continue pressure. Some more Stalkers taking shots, going to get a couple of hits going off immediately. So a few shots coming through. The Zealots in the front are so annoying as well. We've killed another 8 probes. This Nexus is going to go down. This game 1 is going the way of Art, as he's looking to take the advantage on the semi-final and try and put himself into a qualifying match in the upper bracket final today. Stalkers still stepping through. A couple more Stalkers going down. The Immortal's still going to be right there. Extra couple of gates coming up. Again, the Nexus will come through. The charge will keep building. 6 additional Zealots be warping in right now. So we get all those Zealots coming online. The Immortal building on the side of Led Alex. Observer in the gateway is building through too. At this stage, you've got the Zealots in the front. They're just going to do so much of the tanking. Our target is clearly this Immortal. If you can take that Immortal out, then everything else feels absolutely fine behind this as well. And we're just going to see those few extra Stalkers coming back over again. A couple of the Zealots are going to get shot at. A little bit of damage being done on that one. I do feel like we're not far from seeing this game come to its conclusion, as a couple of pylons set up. And again, that charge and a few extra gates coming up as well. Nexus are taking a 4th base, guys. Opponent down to 2. And this one really does feel as though it's probably going to be kind of a done deal. The battery coming up as well currently. Just going to see those Stalkers still pressing up for a couple of moments. Charging the +1 building by. The Nexus coming up. The probe's on the way. Stalkers a lot of art back into the center of the map. Just going to be falling away there for a few moments. Nexus and a couple of pylons coming up as well. Our Stalker army regathers, and again we just see our +1 attack, the Nexus, the pylon, a little bit of everything coming up currently as we get all of that underway from now. Realistically, we're just a fight away from Art taking this first game. Not a lot of suspense to put on the storyline here. It's Omega over. Oh, it's Omega over. Yes. Oh, this is done. This was just, you know, recollect your units and get ready for the large fight to wrap it up, and that was that. GG's. Art taking the 1-0 lead in the BO3. And we'll see if he can follow up on that and get himself a dub and into that qualifying match in just a couple of moments. As we'll get game 2 on the way for you guys in a second here, and then we will indeed have the qualifying matchup to follow up from that. So what's going on? These guys to host. Do we have a result on the other side of the bracket? Yes, Nice has already beaten Night Phoenix. So Nice is waiting in the qualifying matchup for whoever advances from this series. So we will have a best of 5 to follow this best of 3 pretty soon after, more or less. So that will be coming straight up. And ready to go. Tata Citadel is going to be our map, so we'll get that started and get this underway. This off and get this, like I say, rolling. Ready, says Lad Alex. I'm going to be pretty much set to go. Awesome. Let's do this. At Citadel for this next game. Get this started up and see what is going to happen. Going to start off in the bottom right-hand side with the red Protoss player. This is going to be Art. And he takes the 1-0 advantage, as mentioned in this PvP. Up against Led Alex, our blue Protoss on the upper left-hand side. Get into this next one and see just where things are going to go and turn out and all the rest. Alright, game 2. Can Let Alex get back on track? Art just choosing to be a bit more aggressive. They had very similar openings, and Art just saying, cool, I want to go 4 gates and attack you while you take that fast third base. Worked out perfectly. Let Alex did not know about it and ended up being caught off guard enough that advantage was taken. And a couple of gates coming through, the assimilators coming up. Probes on the way through as well. So all those gates coming by. Got a lot of this coming into play. And we get ready to rumble. As the probes continue to produce, the cyber cores coming up. A lot of little bits and pieces coming through right now, so yeah, we get a lot of this started just for now. Probe moves over, just coming over to the side there for a couple of seconds. Maybe having the cybercore on the gate continuing up as well, so again, just all the little bits and pieces for now, getting underway initially. And sentry's coming up, the warp gate's coming through. Probe is going to nibble at the other probe for a couple of moments as well. Hallucination will take a journey across the map. As we just have the next coming through, and warp gate is coming up. A lot of this coming into play right now. Centering the warp gate, continuing. The next is on the way. The Twilight Council starts. Just going to throw down our tech on both sides. So both players will have that Twilight Council again. Very similar to the last game, really. Stalker Sentry versus just 72. So players obviously like that build. Players want to kind of keep doing what they're doing. So that part is not really changing just yet. So in that regard, we're looking pretty cozy early on. And yeah, the Twilight Council finishing up in just a few moments. And the Stalkers will keep building that warp gate very much so. It'll be done soon as well. And we're not seeing any difference between the players just yet, so we will wait for that to be figured out and some advantage to be taken or so in these next few moments. Otherwise, we sit tight and see what our plan will be. Probe is just going to head down to that natural, which is obviously expected. That's how things work. There's the extra gate already from Art, so he is going to take the 3 gates pretty quickly again here. Alex is just setting up to expand. Are we about to see... I mean, right now this feels like we really are just repeating the last game, which is fun if Let Alex can make the adjustments to obviously find a defense to show us just, you know, exactly how he's going to defend this, what he's going to change, how things are going to be different, etc., etc., etc. I don't believe... Well, I don't know. It's not I don't believe. I don't know if he'll do that. Right, and I think the entire fun aspect of this game really depends on that, because if that's not the case, if that's not how this is going to go down, this becomes a bit of a meh kind of situation very quickly, to be honest. The hallucination popping through, the Stalkers and the Sentries will gather together as well. Depth gets jumped on, that gets cleaned out pretty quickly here. couple more Stalkers warping in once more. So just going to bring those straight up. Robo facility coming through. Again, Stalker Sentry gathers at the front of the natural. That third Nexus goes down over that right-hand side. Just going to see the gate coming through, the battery coming up. Stalkers will be there for a couple of force fields go down already. The Stalkers will try and poke around a little bit, so we go back and forth for a little while. A couple more shots. The Stalkers still getting chased out of here. A couple of additional force fields coming down again. Need to play it through. I mean, just this push coming up from Art. At the end of the day, I mean, this Robo facility and getting that Immortal out might make the difference. We'll see if he can get it in time. There's a lot of probes already going down. Oh, the Immortal's right in the front. The barrier gets popped immediately. We put damage straight onto this. There's no saving it because the battery's out of energy. So now it's just a question of, can we potentially overwhelm these Stalkers at all? Like, is that a possibility, or is that just asking perhaps a little bit too much? I think it might be asking a little bit too much of the situation, to be honest. As you can see, this is Art forcing the pros to be pulled again, has reinforcing Stalkers still showing up, so he still has the numbers advantage. And I really think that is starting to be an absolute killer of the situation right now for you here as Led Alex. The Robo depowered as well, trying to repower it because you're kind of desperate to get an Immortal out defensively, but if you can't get that Immortal out defensively, then this one is very much so looking to be done. Done. Sooner rather than later, unfortunately. Stalkers keep chasing. I mean, Led Alex is running for his life, but the lower bracket is waiting for him because he is not winning this game, not from this position. Down 20 workers, down in army. Third Nexus will start to go down next, of course, and obviously there is an expansion on the other side of the map from Art, so you name it and the advantage is there for Art, and that's the issue in the grand scheme of things right now. Just going to be seeing the Stalkers blink forward. Immortal is going to start going down, and Art is going to take game number 2 of that BO3. GG's. Alright, Art moves on through to the upper bracket finals where he'll play nice. Night Phoenix and Mixu will be playing in the lower bracket as Mixu knocked down MJG, and Led Alex will play UET Storage. The winner of those lower bracket matches play in the next round. So that's a couple of best of ones that lead into the best of 3. We might end up in that best of 3 depending on how long our best of 5 qualifying match takes, which is Art versus Nice, and we'll be getting into that in a couple moments, guys. I presume because we're going to veto for a moment, that's going to take a couple minutes, so I think we'll take a quick little break. Yeah, I'll take a quick little break, guys. I'll be right back with you in just a few. More StarCraft 2 on the way. You're watching OSC Challenger Bracket C. Art versus Nice coming up next to you guys. Oh, no, wrong button, wrong button, wrong button. Trying to click the right button. Art versus Nice coming up in a couple of moments. Just waiting for them to ready, and we should be able to go. Try and kick this off. Countdown begins, and we are gonna be able to get back on track. So let's do this. Let's get into it, and let's kick off into the action. Just noticed the Eevee in the side hook. Am I a Pokemon fan? Yes, I might be a Pokemon fan. There is some evidence of that around the room. Just in a few places that are just slightly off camera. In the top left-hand side, our Red Protoss player is going to be Art as we enter this best of 5 qualifying matchup. Taking on Nice, our Tyrannese Protoss in the bottom right. Where's the Wheezing? I've never seen a Wheezing plushie. Maybe the Wheezing's just in my lungs after 17 hours of casting StarCraft every day. I don't know. No, I've actually never seen a Wheezing plush. To be honest, I've seen a small one maybe. Big Wheezing plushie would be kind of cool, actually. Underrated Pokemon. Alright, Nice PvP qualifying series winner advances to the 13th OSC Championship. What is going to happen? How are things going to go? Good questions. We'll be figuring that out over the next few moments and what our answer to that is going to be. There's a couple gates come up, probes come through. Just going to see the Corona Boost on the Nexus there for a couple seconds as well, so just get all of that on the way for now. Setting up for the moment as the Cybercore and the gates come by. And we want to see what this PvP holds. Otka's getting aggressive with the Blink a couple times in a row against that Alex. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult here against Nice. Nice has played well lately. I came into the WardiTV 2025 Championship the end of last year saying like, hey, like, you know, Nice is the underdog here. I don't believe in him. And then bam, what did he do? Got out of his group and made it to the freaking playoffs. So let's not doubt our boy. Nice. He's taught me not to doubt him basically. Is the TLDR of this situation. So. Sentry Stalker on the way up, the Warp Gate building through. Just going to get all of that on the way. Let's just have the probes coming up, pylons on the way through as well. Below that settling down into play for the moment. And yeah, probe going to chase another probe around just for the moment. Get that all on track. Stalker and Sentry will nibble through the pylon here. And this pylon over on the natural can take some damage as well. So both players being blocked from expanding straight away. Nice is going Stargate while Art will just get the expansion down. So Nice will get a Stargate on the way for himself. Build into that and see what we can do with it as Hallucination begins to go across to the other side of the map. And go and figure some things out as well. The next couple moments. And get that all underway. So get that up and running. For a moment or two, as you just see that Hallucination coming back around. And yeah, just gonna move it about a little bit. Stalker in the center, just gonna nibble. Rock's gonna take some damage. Stalker's going to be there, pushing that Oracle back. And we're going to see the Blink coming through. A couple of depths in the Oracle coming through. Robo Facility coming up as well. And Blink about halfway done. Twilight Council on that Robo Facility still just building up. That Oracle very much so on its way through. A couple of probies being added on. A Stasis Ward being handed into play as well. Yeah, this Oracle just back up toward the top. Couple of Stalkers and the Sentries gathering together. Again, the Stalkers will fight. The Depths will get picked away at. Just going to be seeing the Oracle gets a Stasis Ward denied, so that's like a pretty decent defense from Art. Loses a couple workers, but he might lose some at some point of this, right? That part should not be super crazy overall. Blink coming up, Dark Shrine and the Gateway coming over, the Immortal going by. The Stalker's going to be there and able to try to stop a couple things from taking place here just for the moment or two. Again, that Dark Shrine, the Gateway, all coming online for the moment, so a lot of that getting set up and working here. As yeah, Sentry, Stalker, and the Immortal continue to build into play just for the moment. Dark Shrine is halfway done already. This is just going to come straight down into place. Again, this army of Arts coming across the map, so he's still going to poke forward and try and see if he can get a little bit of something on the go, or something to that effect, if possible, would be his dreamy little situation right now. Stalkers get rid of an Oracle, which is kind of a nice grab in all honesty as well. Now this Stalker Sentry gets rid of a Pylon too, so able to make another nice little grab on that. So we'll take that and kind of run with it for the moment. A couple Stalkers still coming about. Oracle's still going to be right there, just picking off another probe or so. That Oracle's going to stay active, getting after the rest of those probes on top of everything else. So again, damage being done initially. Seeing if we can get enough of a follow-up on this at all. Now, again, those 4 probes going down. Pretty decent amount of damage overall. Again, +1 the charge coming through. The Immortals coming up. All of that on the way right here. As the Stalker Sentry gathers, ETs are getting shut down pretty easily. It's going to be a good little bit of defense taking place right there as well. So in that regard, that bit of defense goes nicely, and the Stalker Immortal Sentry needs to gather back together just for a moment or two. Yeah, charge and +1 still coming up. Charges are very much so building. Like I say, the extra gates coming through, the Temple Archives coming in. So we got a lot of the extra little bits and pieces going down there as well, so get rid of this pylon. I mean, we have on the left side, this main army of Knights is still pretty hefty, despite the DTs maybe not doing as much as you initially would have wanted them to, so it's going to be settling here as the Stalkers all taking a bit of a fight for a few moments. The Immortal is going to end up taking a few shots as well. Just going to be seeing a lot of fighting happening. I mean, this is a big trade out. The Immortal's there, standing strong for Nice for a while. Bit of micro back on the Immortal of his opponent. Problem is, we don't have any real kind of getaway plan, right? Like, there's no Prism in play or anything, so that's really lacking compared to what you might typically expect to have happening. So in that regard, things maybe even a little surprising at the moment in terms of where we're at and where things are playing out to be. Weird little game going on, honestly. I mean, Arts is going to win because he's attacking across the map, and he's going to have enough to go through because Nice was overcommitted in the end and lost too much. Had no attack upgrade either, which made things even worse for him. And that is going to be Art taking the first game of this BO3. So Art opens up strong. Art getting the first blow on the day in the qualifying matchup. So 1-0 lead for Art. I'd like to see Art qualify, honestly. I feel like he's put so much effort in the last few days trying to play all these qualifiers. He's been close a few times over. I feel like Art deserves it, but I mean, who deserves it? I mean, Nice is also just good, right, at the end of the day. So I love to see either of these guys qualify, but it's catching so much of it, it really would feel right for him to qualify, I suppose. Considering how everything's well gone, or how everything has gone. What's up, Danny? Hello, veteran. How you doing? Thank you so much for the 41-month resub. Good afternoon to you. So much for resubbing and supporting the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. 10,000 feet coming up. And get this ready to go. Just checking everyone's ready. Take this off and away in a couple of moments. Down, down. Off that 1-0 lead. Do you have any results on the bracket already? Actually, let me have a quick peek. That Alex won over UED Soldier, Mixu, and Night Phoenix still playing. So those lower bracket matches playing out. Obviously, we'll get more info on those as we go. Let's jump into 10,000 feet though. We'll get this ready to start off. The top left corner, we're going to have ourselves with the 1-0 lead in this, again, best of 5 qualifying match. So it is best of 5, keep that in mind. It's a bit longer than the best of 3s we've seen previously. It's going to be hard. Taking on in the bottom right side, the blue Protoss. We have nice. I overslept. What did I miss? Been a pretty chill qualifier so far. Mixu Art in the first round was pretty fun. We've basically just been following Art through. This is our first qualifying match of the day. And we will be also after OSC today doing some 2v2 action. So full day of StarCraft for us. Should be a bunch of fun. Should be a bunch of fun. Gates, assimilators, all coming about. So I get a little bit of that setting for a moment or two as well. So we just get set here for now. Get that underway. Gates coming about, the probes are coming through. Just getting this established here early as the cyber cores come up as well. So we got a lot of that on the way. Probe coming down to the bottom of the map for a few moments. Start to put some damage out. Nibbles coming through early. All those steps very much so on the way out. Setting up for the moment. Trying to see where we will go. And Stalkers coming through, the warp gates building, robot facility about to finish on the side of nice. Be a nice bonus, obviously. Get that completed already. The Stalkers coming up. Model on the way, a couple of sentries on the way in return. So the sentries will hang about. Just going to be seeing a couple of depths are going to try and shade forward. Moving through for a couple of moments. Push away for a couple of moments. Sentries on the way, but that robo facility coming down. Going to be a big dictator in this game. We obviously have the Prism already being built up on the side of nice as his first units are here. And the Immortal is going to start pushing. Gonna deny the low ground. I mean, that feels like something that's just gonna naturally happen here. A couple of gates morph into warp gates to follow up with. Trying to get up that ramp. Force field coming down again, keeping things at bay for a little bit. We are going to get a few more units up to the high ground currently, so moving straight up there. A couple more Stalkers warping in, a few more Stalkers coming about as well. I'm going to keep on trying to fight for a couple of moments. As you see, Stalkers in the center, you continue to push on forward this army of Art. Trying to keep this army of Nice away, and at the very least, Nice will just take the natural, but he's taking a lot of damage on his units, and right now, Art feels confident to kind of chase him off, which is going to be amazing, being able to actually chase your opponent out of here. Feels really good. Being able to push on through, and now this Immortal's going to be in trouble as well, and if that goes down, I mean, it's a little awkward because obviously then you've got the other Immortal on the other side, and in the end, maybe Art has chased a little bit too far. He really believed he gets something done capitalizing on the Prism denial, but yeah, I think he overstepped his boundaries in the end, which is a real shame because I actually felt like he was kind of onto something once the Prism went down, but not meant to be. Nice will even this series out 1-1. We're going to go to a game 3. This matchup. Alright, we're going to be tied up 1-1. Obviously, it's best of 5. We're going to game 3 no matter what, but now tied up and ready to continue through. We'll be in game in a second. Just wait for our players to join us here. Post us up and take us into... Oh, it's going to be Winter Madness. Fun map. For this next game, then. We'll get this started. Cool. Cool. Wow. Let's sing go. Goku gets cold. Let me get ready to kick this off into this PvP, guys. 1-1 tied up. Qualifying matchup. Still no result on Mixu and Night Phoenix. They're playing a nice, long, juicy best of 1 down in that lower bracket. We are headed into game 3 of this series here. Let's get this started up. Let's get this rolling. Tied 1-1, and in the bottom right side, our red Protoss is Art. The upper left side, our blue Protoss is Nice. As we get our game 3 of this the ways, and ready to party. Simulator drops into play to start us off. Gates coming through, those simulators coming about, so all that coming through for the first couple of moments of this. Nothing super crazy just yet. Gates coming by and get set up in general for the moment as we have Simulator and the rest of the company coming through for a few moments here, so getting that on the way just for now. Instead of on the gateway, we'll continue up. Just going to see the probes coming through. I'm going to got a little pylon over the side as well as we go about things here, so just going to get that started. Do you otherwise see? Again, yes, Cybercore gates. No surprises yet. We'll keep our eyes out for any proxies and where they may come from or go to. That will be one of our points of interest on this course of action, so start with that and figure the rest out more or less as we go. A robo facility coming down over on that side initially, so robo facility comes up, and a couple of the adepts. So it's going to be on the map, but it's not going to be like completely proxied like we've seen previously, so there's a little bit of something to think on there, I suppose. Stalkers will start to go out across the map. The robo facility and a couple of adepts continue through as well, so just going to see those stalkers in that warp gate coming by. Probe getting picked off for a moment or two. This probe going to get nibbling as well. I put a little bit of extra value in just for the moment. And that robo coming up. Stalkers on that warp gate all coming through. Getting a lot of that on the go. And it's going to be the prism, which is unsurprising considering the position on the map. That said, Art is going for 3-gate robo of his own, so he's going to go for his own D robo, and that's going to be able to play defensively here with the way that things are panning currently. So yeah, being able to play that defensive robo should be quite a neat little addition to the situation. Some pops. The Immortal's going to be on the way to follow this up. But yeah, you're essentially playing a defensive robo facility as Art, unless you don't realize what's going on in time, and then you end up in a bit of an aggressive position with all of that. That could maybe be where things possibly can get a bit weird a bit further down the line here still, so we shall see. There's the first two adepts. Sorry, it's actually two stalkers in this prism, so they're going to come in and try for some damage. The adepts are going to shade in at the same time. That's just going to load into the prism and get away, but we actually take a bunch of shots already. Stalkers gather up, and we're going to be joining up as well. Well, and a couple of depths continue through. A couple of depths getting over here. They're going to go in straight after a couple of those workers already. So a bunch of workers going down. That could be fun. Obviously, Nice has been aggressive on this side, but he just lost like 12 workers. So that's just going to be super damning. It's actually going to just absolutely deny him from being where he wants to be. And that is simply put, GG. Art back into the lead, and it couldn't have really gotten much easier there. Two adepts getting the work done and absolutely doing what they needed to kickstart this one into some action that favored you. Alright. Well, we will resume in a moment, guys. Be ready up for game number 2, game number 4, and get that ready to go. Next Mixu Night Fiend, still no results, so it's very likely we catch the best of 3 in the lower bracket as well at this stage. Or very close to it, depending on how long the next game or 2 takes, perhaps. Guess we will see. Rapid's going to be our map, so we get that hosted as well. Alright, let's go in game. White Rapid coming up as we get this started. And Art has a qualification in his sights. One map away from it. As we'll get White Rabbit underway right now, get this started, and away we go. In the top right hand side, getting the quick edge in that previous map, it is going to be Art, our red Protoss player. Up against the blue Protoss. In the bottom left hand side, we've got Nice. Trying to loosen up some probes and get ready to rumble here. Game number 4. proxies start to come out in that last matchup as well, which is kind of fun. Starting to see a little bit more of that coming around, so things are getting exciting, things are getting enticing as this series continues through. The next Chrono Boosting is similar to on the way out. Again, just going to see some of the little bits and pieces on the way by for the moment, and we get this set. Obviously, no proxy gateways, which is pretty much the one thing we can really look for in these early stages. See if there's any proxy gates coming out. When there's not, on we can go. Simulators finish up. So 2 simulators there, 2 gateways as well. All of that coming by for the moment. Open the main, just going to throw down at Cybercore. Yeah, 2 gates on the Cybercore coming up. Proby's in production. Getting that underway. Our gateway's coming through. Probe nibbles. Other probe takes some damage. We do see against Cybercores and the Nexus both finishing. Sorry, Cybercores and Gateways both finishing. No sign of Nexus yet, but we'll see if we got a Nexus on the way from somebody in these next few moments. We're about to find out whether or not we do have some commitment here. Stalker both building by. Just going to see the probe nibbling at the other probe for a couple moments. Again, getting some extra value on that just for now. A little bit more value coming through. Obviously, work our way through that pylon. Just going to nip through that as we otherwise see the a couple stalkers still coming up. The warp gate coming by. All of that coming into play at the moment here. Sentry stepped away from for a moment or two. Just going to see that Sentry still nibbling onto the rocks. Next coming up onto the natural. Yeah, Sentry and the Stalker together will continue to put some pressure in there. A couple of Stalkers coming through. And just going to be seeing the warp gate coming up. The Stalkers coming by. And that next is still coming about as well. Destination moving away currently. Twilight Council and Robo Facility both building up here from Nice. Twilight Council coming up from Art as well. Nexus is still about halfway done. That warp gate completing from Art. We just get a lot of that on the way through. Actually going to see this force field comes down a little bit late, no? Going to leave you in a bit of an awkward place. Kind of lets these units in a little, so not exactly ideal there. In the end, we commit through, get a couple of workers in the end out of this, so boy, that could have been a lot worse, to be honest, than what it turned out to be. Probes come back around as well. Prism still moving up. Depths is going to shade. Just going to see a couple of Stalkers going to be there. A couple of Depths getting chased back. And again, the Dark Shrine, a couple of probes coming through. Blink on the way up as well. The probes in the Robo Facility continue to settle down. Just for the moment, Stalkers are going to get onto the Adept. Onto both of the Adepts, I should say, but some damage out straight away. Some work in immediately. And go from there. Yeah, the Dark Shrine is building. Probes and the Observer coming through. I'm just going to be seeing the Charge building. Again, it's going to be a choice from Nice to kind of go for something a little bit different here. Using the Dark Templar soon as well. Try and get set up. Link is currently halfway done. Dark Shrine going to start building up the first DTs. The first DT already coming out for a couple moments there. Get that underway. So I was going to get rid of a pylon and Nice. Like I said, DTs are going to linger around, see if they can do anything. And push in for some work. over the next few moments. Just gonna have the Immortal, a couple Stalkers, and the Gates all coming about. Currently, that Blink's still coming up. Again, the Immortal and the Charge coming through as well, so a lot of that continuing online. A lot of setup here for now. There's going to be Glaives from Art, so he's going to decide to go in that direction. Up a bit of army supply currently. Kind of like Art's position, honestly, overall. I mean, just the fact he has Blink. Early game feels as though it's gone a bit more in his favor. DTs from his opponent have so far not really done much of anything at all, honestly. So, yeah, kind of like it, like I say, for our player who's leading the series right now. The Adepts get in, they get a few probes as well. They find more than what the DTs have found, so it's going to be awesome also. Let's just see the Stalkers pull off to the side, the Observer right there. And extra gates coming through the Nexus building. And a few batteries will go down also for the moment. Pop them into place. Another Archon on the way through. The gates of the Nexus coming about. Zealots, Immortal, Charge, and Temple Archives building as well here currently. Another Archon starts to morph in. The Prism just joined up together with everything else as well. Talking around that right-hand side. And going to try and hit this Nexus down toward the bottom side here as well. So just trying to see if there's anything to be had over on this position. Answer so far is nuh-uh. Stalkers come back around again. Just going to be seeing the Immortal Stalker Archon force combining together. Just going to keep those Stalkers away for the moment. The army of Nice is very teched up, so while the army supply is there from Art, I do like the amount of tech units from Nice, and I do think that that could be obviously a pretty major factor in this overall, so expect that to possibly be something that we keep our eyes on in the near future. There's odds on the way, the Charge coming up, bringing a lot of that online. Just for now. And yeah, Charge in the gateway coming by. And you will see. Nice is already trying to fight here. I mean, Art honestly has a good amount of Immortals himself. I think it makes you honestly, maybe a couple more Archons from Art would probably not go amiss. He has an army supply lead, and his army does genuinely look better. Like, when you look in that position right there, it does look like a better situation right now, right? So, just going to set up to try and start taking advantage of exactly that. See those Immortals and the Archons continue to come about. Let's see, the Archon's going to fight. Just going to see the army continue to come through. Seeing the army from Nice actually doing a lot of work here. It's continuing to push on in. The Archon's doing a good job of this, getting a good bit of damage dealt initially, so able to get a lot done for now. I see these units finally go down, though. Art is going to keep chasing. He is going to be able to push this back in the end, so he actually gets a good bit of damage dealt right on the tail end of this. A couple more Archons coming up, that Immortal coming through as well. What a weird fight. Like, I felt like Nice was kind of disadvantaged going in. Then he took a pretty good fight for himself, and I feel like coming out of it at the end, I'm like, I felt like Nice could have had more still, even. Now the game settles down, and numbers are actually pretty even across the board in terms of army, but the work count is in favor of Art. So he's going to come out of this with a worker lead currently, and that's something he can feel pretty good about for the next couple of moments here at the very least. So Art got to be feeling, like I say, somewhat okay about where things currently sit, because, like I say, his worker count is in his favor, and I mean, he may not be able to know that is the only issue right now. Like, he may not know that he's advantaged in that regard, right? So, yeah. Nice, gonna just warp in and look for another round of attacks out to the other side. So looking to put some pressure in pretty quickly. Let's see the prison moving around. Put some work in already. Get some positioning set up. Let's see a couple DT swiping through. That's what we kind of need. The DT's coming back in and actually making a play here. That's going to help. It's a nice little something. The Archon's pulling back. The Probe's going to be there. And Probe and the Observer continue to settle down just for the moment. Forge and the Zealot will start to produce through as well. DT, in the end, I mean, very successful stuff. 9 workers go down. And, like, nice to actually get into a position where he does something again, because it did feel like, I say, the economy was definitely there for Art, and this does a lot to kind of just even up the game another step at this point in time. Well, a couple of Zealots and the High Templars continue to gather together for the moment, so we can continue to get that going. So we've seen a big fight breaking out, man. This is a wild fight. So many Zealots involved. Nice, there's a lot of Zealots. He's going to warp in a chunk more as well. You obviously have instant warp-ins available on the side of Art, and whose Archons are going to do the most work here? Initially, it seems like Nice is just going to have enough Zealots to keep powering through, and that's obviously a major step in the right direction to start us off. But Art's supply is holding strong, and his Archons are standing strong at the very end of this. A couple of them now ending up on low shields, but so are the opponents. However, he's got some batteries to work with. Those batteries are massive, especially bringing the Archons back up to health a little bit, give them a little bit more life. Let's finish off some of these low shield Archons. If you can get rid of some of those, that would be massive. As in the end, Nice has he just about done enough? Couple more units warping in. We do not have time to morph in another Archon at this point. Nice warps in on top of this fight. He's actually going to get it done. Kind of a crazy little engagement overall, and Odd has to say GG, and Nice will take this to a 5th map. We'll go the distance in this qualifying series. What a weird game. I really felt like this was kind of going the other way at points, to be honest. So, GG's, and we go to Game 5. All right. All right. Gonna go into Game 5 then, as soon as these guys host it up for us. And we'll kick off into this next game. Cool. Just waiting for them to host, guys. Waiting for them to host. Hello, Citadel. Nope. I'll be cancelled. Give this a moment. Try this again. Alright, countdown starts, guys. Gonna kick this off and get this ready to go. Alright, Citadel, for map 5, deciding match of this qualifying matchup. Let's get this on the way. Get this set up and going. On the bottom right and nice in the upper left as we get this one started here and get this ready to go and figure out just how things potentially going to close out on this one. And the gates and the probes coming up, the assimilator coming through. Well, gas on the way. Cannot bring it back after that last game. I feel like he was in a good position multiple times that last game, and I do think Nice maybe gave up a couple of engagements, but it felt like Art should have had some better chances in the fights as well, to be honest. Such a weird game. So many weird fights as well, and sometimes when that Zealot Archon Force flashes into, you know, each side of the map, it's just a case of like, well, what happens here? No one really knows, honestly, at this point, so... Cybercore building on both sides, second gate's coming through. Cybercore will complete and get that on the way through then. Get that going. Just for the moment. Probe nibbling at the other probe. A little bit going on for now. Gonna see the Adept and the Sentry coming about. Wolfgate coming through for a couple moments. And get this started initially. And Robust will build. The Nexus coming about. Just gonna be seeing the units coming through then. Our Robo Facility will drop down onto the main base. Just going to get that on the go. The Sentry going to get in after the pylon. And we do already have the Nexus dropping down from Odd. It's a nice little edge for him, but the Robo coming up from Nice, so maybe he doesn't care too much about the expand overall. Hallucination heading across the map, currently going to get up into this main. And again, scout around to see what's up. Robo completing. So he does get the scout. He sees the Nexus as well, though, so you get the idea of what's going on a little bit more nicely. As we do see the hallucination moving back over. And Prism and that Warp Gate coming up. The blink is going to start. The gateway coming down. Hallucination just sets up already. A couple of gates more through. We have our Twilight Council building into play. Nexus coming online. And the Prism and a couple of additional units coming about as well. Prism loads up a little bit. And Blink coming about, just getting settled for a couple moments. And the Blink's about halfway done. And Gateway is still building up. Next is coming through here as well. And a couple of extra adepts continue to come in for the moment. Get that all on the go. Just currently. Robo drops down. Two adepts actually going to shade in. Nice, going to have a chance to get some damage done, but they shade kind of... But they kind of move up through the top side there. They're going to start hitting the gates a little bit now. Stalkers and sentries all cleaned up. Just going to see that Adept going down. Blink still coming through. Just going to have the couple more Stalkers warping in. Blink is about to complete. Couple gates of that charge coming by. The Nexus starts up from Art, so he's going to take the third, where Nice obviously takes a bit more of an aggressive route. Extra gateways, the charge upgrade. What'll coming about definitely has that chance to maybe get shoving across the map and may look for a fight to try and deny this third base. And right now, you win this game and you are potentially putting yourself into the majority of this. Stalker going to shoot a little bit of flanking coming by. A couple moments, and we are going to be seeing, not putting on the pressure at the front, so just trying to get something out of this in these early stages. Just trying to put something in initially. And charge coming up, gates all coming online initially as well, so again, get that just set in for a moment or two here currently. Get that on track. Stalkers coming about, the Observer coming through. Again, the charge coming about. And getting the extra Zealots coming in as well. Stalkers, I like it. Making a little move over the sides. Gonna be able to get through, get some work done right off the bat. Gonna be seeing the force field coming down. The pylon going down, a couple of gates getting depowered. Just to begin with here, the couple of Zealots getting jumped on as well. Just going to be seeing the extra gates morphing in. Charge will finish in a couple of moments. 6 probes went down. And yeah, those extra gates finishing. At this point, it does feel like Art has a chance to kind of just, his army looks pretty sizable basically at this point is what I'm getting at, I suppose. So we're going to see everything else coming back through. A few mortals and everything going to that right side. Nice will deflect Art for now. Once again, Nice is going to be down in workers, though, so it does feel like maybe he needs to do something with this army, but as he comes across the map, it really is just a question of can these Immortals stand strong. He's not going to have any Archons. His opponent will have an Archon at least. Archon's out still building through. The Immortal coming up as well. You get that into place for now. The Warpin's coming straight through. The rest of this coming about here. Force field's coming down. Just going to be seeing the Immortal getting grabbed as well. The rest of these Stalkers also coming up. A few more Warpins down on that bottom side here. The Zealots coming in once again currently. A couple of Guardian Shields are going to pop. We are going to see the Stalkers are going to make their way over. And in we go. So Nice trying to commit to this fight. He's going to lose his Prism though. And there goes the reinforcements. And there just goes this fight. The Immortals just don't stand strong up against these charge lots at all. And Nice just did not have anything that he needed to kind of win this fight. GG's. Art 3, Nice 2. Gonna wrap up and move over. Apparently, Mixu didn't report against Night Phoenix, so Mixu already beat Night Phoenix, then led Alex. So we actually already have our matchup, which is a rematch. Sorry, not a rematch, because Art just won. My bad. It's going to be Nice versus Mixu, so it's a Nice Mixu best of 5 qualifying match up next, guys. We're going to jump into that, and I'll see you guys in a few, because I'm just going to be a moment. As like I say, Nice Mixu PvZ up next. Hello, hello, hello. How we doing, guys? There we are, counting down into our game, as you might be able to hear a little bit of. Getting this going in just a couple seconds, so give me a moment. Get this ready to go. Get this ready to rumble on through. A little bit of time. All right. Let's jump in and see what we're gonna get. As we kick this off, and we get this underway, we have ourselves in the top left corner of the map. The blue Zerg player is going to be Mixu in our last qualifying match of the competition. So, last opportunity here to make something happen. What is it going to come down to? How is it going to play? Actually kind of excited to figure this out, kind of excited to see what the hell goes on as we kick this into action and we get this up and rolling. So, we get this started, we look to get this going. And we look to start this off in the next couple of moments, just have Mixu and Nice in a best of 5 qualifying match. Like I say, winner is qualified, and that's all the info we need to know right now. So, winner qualifies, let's see what we get. As we have blue Zerg in the top left is Mixu. Get that set up, I'll get him set up. Get that started here for a couple of moments as well. Alright, let's take it easy for a second, get set, and see what we can do. A couple of dronies start to mine off initially. The probe comes around. We'll have ourselves a little bit of a starting point of this PvZ at the very least. Enough right now, so see exactly where that's going to go. There's the actual drones in the hatch coming through. Spawn pool as well with that gas. Everything looking very normal for the first couple of seconds. Nothing super overly crazy to begin with immediately. Everything gonna be pretty chill just for now. Yeah, nothing really overly wild just yet, so get set up. Let's gonna have ourselves the spawn pool in the hatch continue to come around, bringing that into play. And this set here. Figuring out just where things exactly will go. Again, Cybercore and the Nexus continue to come through at the moment. Island about to finish up, a little Chrono Boost coming down at the same time. And we will figure out what our plan is going to be. Mixu earlier, I mean, he just had dispatched a bunch of Protoss players in the lower bracket. Obviously, lost out to Art, who ended up beating Nice here as well. I personally think this is going to be a difficult matchup for Mixu. I think he's going to be the underdog, plain and simple, if I'm going to be completely honest about it. I think it's going to be difficult for him. I want to be wrong. I want to see him prove me wrong. I want to see him kind of take Nice down, but to me, Nice is the more accomplished player. He's actually looked great lately. He's had some good, solid PvZ. I do genuinely think this is tough for Mixu, so we will see what happens as we get this all underway. What's the MMR difference between these two? No idea. I mean, Mixu plays Europe, Nice plays Korea. That's a very difficult statement to make, so not sure what. Everyone's asking so much about MMR lately, man. I have no idea about MMR. I'm so unqualified to answer anything about the MMR of players, like, seriously. Well, fired. I mean, knowing people's MMR ain't my job, man. The thing about MMR is it's such a meaningless stat, because, like, MMR goes up and down by quite a bit. Like, what if someone had a good day and went up 300 MMR from their average, and someone had a bad day and went down 300 MMR from their average, right? What could be a 200 MMR difference is now an 800 MMR difference, which is super unrealistic. So then what? You know their averages all the time, I guess is what you should say. But man, like, that's very tough to do when not everyone plays on the same accounts and stuff. MMR is such a fluid thing. Then you've got MMR between different servers. Like, MMR right now is a little bit more even on Europe because a lot of the Koreans play on Europe now. But still, like, come on. MMR is such a, like, it's not a bad stat, but it's such a weird stat to try and keep track of. I think general MMRs kind of get a rough idea of where certain players are at or how a certain matchup may be and stuff like that. It's kind of fine, but yeah. Gotta be careful not going overboard with the MMR stats, guys. Alright? Gotta be careful. Little bit careful, at least. A little bit careful. Queen's going to be there. Void Ray will take a couple shots of damage. Drones coming up. It's going to be seeing the extra roaches in production as well currently. Getting that set up and rolling. And roaches and lings just in general. We're going to lose 8 drones. These first oracles have an absolute field day with the mineral line. But we are going to ling roach roll in. So Mixu on a very bad economy is about to shove it in his opponent's face. Now he's again a bunch of extra gates coming online and a bunch of batteries as well. So he's clearly realizing exactly what's going on. In which case, this might be... Well, he's actually going to go into glaives. It's not going to help you against the roaches though, is it? I mean, I guess that's where... I mean, yeah, honestly. Well, you have a few ravages, a few roaches, and mostly lings. I guess the depths could be okay here if it is very ling heavy overall. That's third base already in. Just a little bit of trouble to start off with. And we've seen 5 workers going down, like I say, across the map. That has been a continued bit of action so far. It's going to be seeing those lings of the ravages once again turn away pretty quickly. There's not enough anti-air here to really stop this from happening and to stop too much from really taking place on this, so it's not exactly going great so far. There's extra adepts coming through. Void Ray is going to get biled down though, so there goes that, and we're going to try and break through the natural. The problem is we're just so ling heavy, but the queens are going to show up as well, so we're going to make a good go of it. We're going to give it our best attempt. We're going to try to break through this situation. The queens actually start turning around already though. And at this point, maybe you just take the third base and you play on from there. Bane Nest on the way up, and this would be so much easier for Mixu if he wasn't on 21 workers. Like, if these oracles hadn't just dominated the game on the other side of the map, the oracle has 20 kills. If that hadn't been the case, then Mixu would be in a way better position. Now, when you drone, you're playing catch-up instead of establishing a lead, which should be what you're kind of doing at this point. So, you know, unfortunately, things are just not where they want to be for Mixu because he took a ridiculous amount of damage. These adepts will have their glaives, and so they will trade well if given the opportunity to actually fight onto these lings. Honestly, if there's enough adepts, they could maybe even just shade onto this Ravager clump and just go for this. Like, I actually don't think that's a super crazy statement. Like, we've got a lot of these adepts right now, and the link count isn't super crazy. I mean, maybe you're a bit scared of the Ravagers, maybe you're a bit scared of what's behind and what you don't necessarily see straight away, for example, but I almost feel like I want to just say we're at a point where, like, you just send it anyway, because why not? Why not just see what you can try and get done here? Question, isn't it? Fun question, if nothing else. It's going to be seeing the lag continuing up. A couple of gates in the Nexus coming by as well. The Adepts will take another chance to shade on forward. So they have just come across the map. I mean, this is where the Banelings are going to become very useful. Oh no! We shade into the Banes. We did not know about them. Oh my goodness. And that's twice in like 2 days where we've seen just Adepts shading into Banelings and into that Doom. That's definitely a way to lose everything you've been building up right here. It's nice and not getting anything out of it at all. Who was it yesterday with the Adepts that shaded in to kill themselves? I can't remember who it was, but we did double qualify yesterday. But yeah, we had some suicidal Adepts yesterday too. Not ideal, not great. Not great at all. I do not suggest that you guys play like this, just in case you're looking to learn today. Lemon? Yeah, it was Lemon, wasn't it? I think it was Lemon that was, yeah, shaded those Adepts into the veins. That was a more understandable situation. I mean, to be fair, this as well, he just didn't expect Banelings. He thought it was Ling Ravager. The Bane Nest coming down from Mixu was a good call. Mixu is able to flip this over to a worker lead, then dealing with those. The thing is those Adepts were meant to deal at least some amount of damage. Like, there was enough Adepts there to trade out for damage, and then you kind of go from there. But yeah, that's obviously going to end up in a very unfortunate situation at the end of it all, so a little bit sad about that. You see Roach Speed coming up, +1 missile start for a second. Now going to start a melee upgrade as well. And so your Adepts going to try to come around here and attempt to shade in, but again, just don't really see them being able to justify any sort of true movement forward at the moment, and any true commitment into this position right now. Playing Ravager Road, gathering together. And the melee upgrade and a little bit of everything else coming through too. Couple of probes gather up. They're going to go moving around. We're just going to drop ourselves in. A couple other structures over here, so dropping those down and into position just for the moment. Get that underway. Get this set up and see what happens next as we have Queen's going to try and push back that Void Ray. Melee upgrade continues to build through here. I can't believe, by the way, this is it. This is like one final spot to qualify into the OSC Championship. Like, we're here. You know, we're already here. It's here right now. I love that it's here. I love that it's happening. Just, I can't believe that after all these, like, it just feels like all of a sudden we're at this final spot up for grabs. Only one of these players will join the lower bracket and join the rest of the players that have qualified over the course of this weekend and a Challenger A that we had last week. Very exciting. Roaches, Queen's going to be there. Voidray getting chased about. We do see the couple of Queens going in. The Voidray getting pushed around, as you can see. Voidray just going to activate, just going to go straight on onto that hatchery. So, let's pressure in for a couple of moments here. And some damage out. And just getting into a little bit of a better spot currently. The Bane's morph in. Mixu, man, has got so much supply. His supply really is just skyrocketing after the previous kind of few moments. And the thing is that Nice is still trying to make things happen with Adept. We're now trying to build Void Rays at this stage as like an answer. It's hard to love this for Nice. The supply is not there for him. I do not believe it. I mean, he's got Void Rays, but like Void Rays are going to take forever to kill everything, so I don't even really know if I believe in the Void Rays versus it's just like they're there, they exist, and I can't, you've got to acknowledge them, but like that's pretty much all I'm going to do about it. Corrosive Bile is going to try and get rid of some of the cannons. The Banelings are stuck behind the Roaches, so if anything helps you here is Nice, is that it's a little bit of a messy fight from Mixu. Sends a few of his Banelings into the Nexus rather than maybe the worker line, so another little benefit for you for a moment or so. More Corrosive Biles. The Voidray just going to take a step away and dodge out of trouble there, so is going to be able to stay away for the moment, and the rest of that Roach Ravager gathering up as well here just for now, so a little bit extra coming through. So you can see the Roach Ravager just coming back down the bottom side, jumping onto this Nexus immediately. A few Corrosive Biles going to come down there as well. And we are going to be seeing those Void Rays still activating up in the sky, still keeping everything else busy. I mean, the Void Rays like do enough damage to eventually turn this around, but Mixu is obviously still in a good spot. He's just going to start going into the Hydra Den so he gets more of an answer. The problem is Void Rays just aren't a good long-term answer. Like eventually there is just not going to be enough to really stop this from being a thing. More Voids continue to build on through, so that continues into play just for the moment. Hydra Den is about to finish, so it's obviously going to give us kind of everything we're looking for there as well. That will be another big part of this. Just going to see a couple of Void Rays continue to come through. Just seeing a little extra coming now. Just going to be seeing the Ling Road Ravager still trying to push through here. Trying to get a little bit more done. Just got these Queens still here as well. And the Queens will slowly get rid of the Void Rays. I mean, like I say, there's just not enough damage output, I feel like, from the Void Rays to truly scare the Zergoff. Otherwise, Mixu would have been made to turn around already, right? And that's obviously just not being the case. So yeah, this does feel as though we are more or less heading into a GG. And Mixu takes the first game of this best of 5. Mixu, one map up in this qualifying matchup, as he will take the advantage and take the edge in this one. Alright, so yeah, we'll set up into that, guys. Get ready to resume soon. Into game number 2. We have, again, after this as well, we're going to be doing the 2v2 competition from Uthermal, guys. We got a double stream coming up for you guys today, so look forward to that, is what I'm saying, because we got more StarCraft coming up straight after this, so look forward to that as we get ready to head into a second game as soon as the players host up. I will run some ads, actually, just to make them stay out of our games as well. Try and make sure nothing bad happens there. Sounds like a planaran. Sounds like a planaran. Looking forward to the TV2? Hell yeah. I think I might restart the stream on YouTube for the TV2. Like, we're going to be live, but I might put it on a new source just because it's kind of weird, but like sometimes YouTube, like if you make a new video for it, like YouTube will like it more. I'm not sure yet. I just don't know if I want to go up separately, basically under a different. I don't know if I want to go up separately in like a different VOD with a different title and stuff, basically. Can I start the 2v2 tournament after you get off work? I can't, but you can watch the VOD after you get off work. So yeah, but that's the best. That's the best offer I got, you know. That's the best I can do. Final offer. Final offer. All right. Ruby Rock coming up here in a couple of moments. Getting this ready to rumble. Championship bracket link for the OSC Championship. My keyboard just break? No, my Chrome is breaking. There you go. Sweet, let's jump in game and go game 2. As in the top left side, our Blue Zerg currently up a game is gonna be Mr. Mixu. And in the bottom right side, our red Protoss is gonna be Nice. There we go for game number 2 here. Nice, looking to bring it back. Honestly, it felt like a weird game because it felt like Mixu was not going to do anything initially. The Adepts were going to be fine. It's weird because he was building Adepts, but he defended fine with the Adepts. Like, okay, you lost your third base, but those Adepts should have been able to do damage. And if they never run into those Balins, they do damage. And then it's interesting because I wonder if it's that different of a game. Because yes, they would have done damage. Would they have done enough? Because honestly, like, after that point, you saw Mixu just take a crazy lead. So I'm wondering, like, how much damage would those Adepts have got? And how much would they have needed to do to actually make this position okay? Because Nice was pretty heavily committed to the Adepts. So, like, that's definitely, like, one of those kind of factors as well to kind of think on there. So, very good question. I'm not sure how much we really needed to kind of get done in that scenario to kind of improve that position or improve that state of the game into something that may have been a little bit more playable overall. So, yeah, no, great question mark for us to try figure out as we sell ourselves in. Hatch gas pool coming up. The Nexus and the Cybercore will begin to build as well. So just getting this online for the moment. Bring this up and running just for now. And get this on the way. Hatchery coming up, drone on the way, Cybercore and the Nexus both coming through, and the probe building up as well here currently, as we continue to settle down. So yeah, Cybercore and the Nexus building in, the assimilator and the pylon coming up and running for the moment. We need to get this on the way at the moment. Link speed will be producing on in, a couple of Lings and the Queens coming about, our Nexus, the probe and the Adept all building up as well. I'm glad you stream on YouTube. No idea why most StarCraft streamers don't. And are there any restrictions that don't let you stream from Twitch? Or that need to remain on Twitch? No, Twitch removed the multi-streaming restrictions. So it used to be that if you were a Twitch partner, you couldn't stream on YouTube. At the same time, like, you couldn't multi-stream, basically. You couldn't do... If you're a Twitch partner, you couldn't put your live content on Twitch live on another platform at the same time. That's no longer the case. They got rid of that. So that's why I started streaming on YouTube. But I mean, at this point, if people aren't streaming on YouTube, they're just not adapting. Maybe some people can't. And to be fair, some people have no presence at all on YouTube. And so it's a little bit like of a funky one. Like, if you have no presence at all, is it worth it? If you don't want to maintain a YouTube channel and so on, like, and you're doing fine on Twitch. I mean, I think yes, because, you know, multiple platforms are good. But at the same time, I'm only on Twitch and YouTube. I'm also not trying to grow a freaking TikTok over here or, you know, or like a kick stream or anything. I just see Twitch and YouTube as the most successful places to be. I think YouTube has the power to be noteworthy no matter what. I think at the end of the day is the most important thing to kind of think on. So yeah, I think, yeah, YouTube has the power to kind of just be justified as people should be. But yeah, people just haven't realized how powerful it can be. I mean, to be fair as well, like, you can also say, like, I mean, I've been streaming on YouTube for like, let's say a year and a half now, and I'm an established YouTube channel. And the reality is like, it's still a fraction of what I get on Twitch, right? So some people might see, like, splitting their audience away from Twitch onto YouTube as a bad thing as well, and they don't necessarily think that the benefit will make up for it necessarily. I thought that a little bit as well. Like, my Twitch viewer count dropped off when I started streaming on YouTube, but I think it's fun to have the two platforms. Yeah, there's a lot to kind of think on in it, so there's a few reasons why people may not have committed to it yet, where maybe it would have been a good idea. So, yeah. it's kind of just personal preference and what you want to do, right? Like I say, a lot of people are just comfortable on Twitch and they don't feel the need to do anything else. It's funny because my YouTube channel was kind of fine. It's had its ups and downs, but my YouTube channel was fine before. But if I took streaming off my YouTube now, my videos do not do anywhere near as well as they used to do before I started streaming. Like, my YouTube became way more about streaming than it became about uploading videos. And while I still upload daily, it's the streams that carry the majority of the views per day on the channel. So it's kind of interesting how that is kind of flipped, because my YouTube is just like, hey, people like your live streams more. And hence now, like, my actual YouTube videos do worse, so it's just super complicated. Like, there's so many things at play with this kind of stuff all of the time. It's kind of wild how many different things there are, really. So yeah, like I say, it's a very interesting thing. It's very fluid and not always just a simple of answer of like, it's only going to give you benefits. I think overall YouTube only does give you benefits personally. Well, no, like I say, like, there are some negatives, but I think the benefits do outweigh on YouTube. But yeah, some people just don't see themselves maintaining a YouTube channel, so then what's the point, right? Is it because you can have YouTube Premium and no ads versus Twitch with ads? What do you mean? I mean, you can have Twitch with no ads for Twitch Turbo, but obviously more people are likely to have YouTube Premium than they are to have Twitch Turbo, right? So if you already have YouTube Premium because you watch YouTube already, then you're already getting that kind of ad-free benefit, right? As Mixu is going to break through here, and he's going to do enough to make this work. He's already killing probes. He's going to be up into the main base. The Oracles don't have a lot of energy. I love this. Targeting that pylon will do a lot for you. The Feelings should be able to finish that off. I'm surprised we didn't leave a couple more units there to finish off that pylon. That felt like it could have been great. Okay, I actually really thought that Mixu was going to get a little bit more done toward the end of this here. We're not done yet. Batteries are about to be out of energy. Oracles are about to be out of energy. Do we actually have enough to continue through? We had a couple more warp-ins coming in. The Lings will try and finish this pylon in the main base. This last Oracle with energy is about to fade away. I thought Mixu had enough with his attack, but it looks as though Nice is going to get a hold in the end. Wow. Crazy. YouTube Premiums while you remain here is just better value. Yeah, I mean, that's the best part about me for streaming on multiple platforms. Like, you know, it lets you guys have the choice of what's best for you, and some people already use YouTube, and if you already use YouTube, then you already have the YouTube benefits, then go take advantage of them, you know? Like, if I can give you a way to take advantage of your YouTube stuff, then brilliant, you know? So yeah, it's, whole situation's very interesting. I mean, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes and in-depth kind of thinking to it, I guess, but yeah, I'd say YouTube's only really been a benefit for me. You know, one of the nicest things on YouTube for me, this maybe is a bit of a weird one as well, to some extent, but one of the nicest things for me on YouTube is that, for example, when I stream, like, say like Masters Coliseum was on, right, or World Team League or something, and so me and Roddy were streaming the same thing, and Roddy would have more viewers than me on Twitch. A lot of the time I don't have that competition on YouTube, so while my Twitch is maybe not doing as well for the day because we're streaming the same as other people, that same competition didn't exist on YouTube, so my YouTube would still be doing great. So there's actually a really big benefit there, because it's like, oh, cool. While it feels my Twitch isn't doing as well, my YouTube's still having a great day. So even just mentally having a YouTube was kind of a nice thing. That's obviously in part because there's not as many people competing on YouTube as well, right? But there's something else to kind of think on. Anyways, I'm really just yapping. We should probably talk more about this game, considering Mixu already all-in'd nice. Coming out the other side, Mixu is going to be sitting at, what, 46 to 43 workers, a little bit of an army supply lead currently. No third base yet from Nice is going to be what maybe maintains Mixu in this game, like keeps him in it a bit. He's going to get to a melee upgrade against a Stalker Force, and I would just love to see Mixu on like plus 10 workers or so, right? And I appreciate that's asking for a lot, but a few extra workers here, and I'd be a little bit more of a believer. That said, I mean, maybe I don't need to be a non-believer anyway. Like, numbers are actually not terrible for him. Still double army supply, and the main thing here is he's going to get rid of the third base again. And the other thing is that the Oracles are now only 2 of them, and they're not. One of them does have a lot of energy. I thought we might have a little bit less energy on some of these Oracles, to be honest with you. Actually going to kill one right there, so that's going to be a pretty major grab, getting an Oracle out of here. Going to take that W. Anytime you kill an Oracle, is going to be just less constant damage available on the map, right? So you take those opportunities when they arise, and you run with them every single possible opportunity, no doubt about it. Ling's going to run through, just going to come around and look to push over. As you see, the Lings, Roaches, Ravagers fighting away here. These couple of Stalkers will take a few more shots as well. Just going to have the Ling, Roach, Ravagers still pushing through. The couple of Stalkers taking some damage again. You're now going to see the couple of corrosive files coming down, hitting a couple of those Zealots and amongst everything else as well for the moment. So in the end, I think Nice is once again going to turn this around. I mean, I think it was nice for Mixu to get rid of the third base again. But I think he could have stopped at getting rid of the third base and droned a little bit. Like, take advantage of the damage you're doing. Mixu is in a constant state of trying to end this game, and I just don't think he needs to be. Right? Like, there's just zero reason for that to be the case right now. You do not need to be playing like this game must end in these next 2 minutes. Like, you don't have to end the game right now. That really is not a necessity at this point in time. So yeah, I think that's something we could maybe be a little bit more cautious about right now. Just going to see those Stalkers gathering up. Just going to be seeing a few Lings wrapping around. The Zealots are going to be there as well. So they're going to try and get a little extra done already. Zealots going to try and fight. We're just going to be seeing a few Lings gathering together. And again, a little bit of back and forth for the moment as we just settle down. Again, plus 2 melee, the Roach speed coming up. Full High Templars, plus 2 attack charge building as well. A lot of that's still coming into play. Queen, Lings gathering up, so a lot of that coming by as well. Just going to see those units going to try and protect this third. Like, imagine Mixu didn't give away those other units, and now you can maybe attack into the open area that is this third base as well, right? Like, that's just another opportunity or possibility for you to kind of get things on the go here. I just really feel like that would have been a really nice little situation for us to be in right now, and it just made life a whole lot easier overall for us. Probes just transfer across, so they're just going to get set up here for a moment or two. And Mixu going to be ready to try and go again. This time he's going to be up against those High Templars, going to be up against the Storm. So it's going to be important that he tries to take some very good fights against that Storm. If you don't deal well with the Storm, that is obviously going to be trouble just basically made for you in this scenario, so got to be super careful about that. So that's the Roaches gathering together. Storm comes down. Just going to see the Stalkers trying to push back there. Storm continues to come through. 10 probes going down, man. It's a lot of probe damage over there as well. It's just going to be seeing these Zealots continue to swing through. So we actually do get some more working damage done. Mixu continue to add damage into this. And still fighting the rest of the Ling Roach coming up as well. Nice Storm onto a bunch of those Roaches. And those Roaches still taking some damage. Stalkers and High Templars coming through as well, trying to get a little bit more up and running here. The Ling's coming around. Roach is still pressuring. Can we just, break onto this position right now? Don't look away. Not when that Storm just came in. Roach is split forward ahead of the Storm, trying to just get on top of that army already. 72 to 24 army supply, I think. Mixu is on the verge of making this happen, because now the High Templars have to morph into Archons, so we're not going to see extra Storms coming up from them anymore. Going to get rid of that pylon, cancels the warp in. Now we target the Archon. It gets one shot off before it goes down. This game is done. Mixu has enough. And after so many efforts, and maybe honestly some thrown away opportunities, Mixu is going to come out of this looking a little bit victorious. GG's. Mixu takes the 2-0 lead in this qualifying best of 5 from the lower bracket, and is now one map from qualifying into our OSC Championship. Oh. Very exciting. Very exciting. Alright guys, we will take a moment as we get into a game 3. Mixu is a map away from qualification here. And Mixu and Nice. I feel like if these guys had played in a couple more of the qualifiers, they both would have qualified, to be honest. Yeah, crazy business. Crazy business. Again, the main OSC Championship, guys, just in case it's the end of our OSC show today, our main OSC Championship will be starting on Tuesday, so make sure you're here for that on Tuesday. It'll also be a bunch of fun. Old Republic going to be map 3 as Mixu looks to close out the competition right here. Let's see what he can do. See what can happen. Down. Game 3, can Nice pull it back? That's what we're going to try and find out next couple of moments. Now, for all the yapping in the last game, the one extra thing I will say is I do think the best part about streaming on YouTube is it just archives all of my VODs. Like, it's amazing. Like, if someone wants to just watch a stream VOD, like, we know Twitch's VODs are not the best. They're watchable, but they're not the best. Especially on other platforms, like, Twitch can be a pain in the butt sometimes. So, like, just having somewhere where, like, every single one of my streams is in full, like, it's just so good. And people use YouTube like that, right? Like, people are like, I need some background noise. Let's just put on a YouTube video. Bam. Wardy had a 7-hour stream today. Bam. 7 hours. Go. You know what I mean? Like, just having the VODs just available on YouTube is just so nice. And I wouldn't have ever gone through the effort of, like, fully uploading, like, complete VODs, like, to YouTube and stuff, because it just seems like that would, I just don't know if that would get enough views on its own accord. But, like, and that kind of doesn't work well with an algorithm or anything and stuff, yada yada. It's not consistent, it's not great, it's too long. But them just being already on YouTube and accessible for anyone is just amazing, no? Like if you miss any stream, you can just immediately, you can just head on over to the YouTube and you can just catch up same day, no problem, you know? Like, YouTube is just so much better for watching back games. And then our YouTube serves two purposes. We've got the YouTube, which is accessible. You know, we upload one of our best games every day. So if you're just looking for the best games, you can be like, you know, I'm just gonna pick some of the uploads. Or if you just want to watch the full experience of a certain day, bam, you can just watch that full VOD as well. So, not familiar with any of these players, but are they elo wise compared to the pros? Nice is a ESL Taiwanese champion, a WCS Taiwanese champion, like. When Taiwan was a region with, I don't remember what the Taiwan region was. But basically, the Taiwan region, Nice was the champion alongside Haas. So, Nice is very heckin' good. I mean, maybe nowadays it's a little bit worse off. And then Mixu is 6k-ish, I would say, at a guess. He's about 6k MMR. Mixu splits his time between other games nowadays. Doesn't, like, fully commit to StarCraft 2. If he did fully commit to StarCraft 2, if StarCraft 2 was more active and still had, like, Challenger and, like, say, like, StarCraft 2 still had the ESL Europe Regionals, Mixu would be, like, top 32 in Europe, I think, if he put the time in. I think he would still be up there. He might not make it every season, but at this point, I think he'd make it some of the time, if that's a good enough explanation of where he's at. Yeah, Nice is the next Taiwan champion. I mean, Nice has been here. He's done it all. Like, Nice has taken games off the best of the best. But in this day and age, like, Nice to me is still a bit of an enigma. Like, I feel like today, like, the fact he's losing the Mixu, I'm a little bit surprised at, because you know what it is? When in the 2025 championship that we had for WardiTV, I was like, Nice is just... I counted him out. I literally counted this guy out. I straight up came into the stream and I was like, well, guys, if there's one underdog, not just in this group, but in all of the group stage, the entire group stage, if they had to pick one underdog, Nice is him. Laughs nervously because that was a mistake to say, wasn't it? Nice then proved me wrong, got out of the group, and actually made a bit of a playoff run. So, like, to me, I don't expect Nice to be as good as he is, but he's actually really not bad at the end of the day, is the be-all and end-all of it, pretty much. So... yeah, it's an interesting situation for sure. Oh yeah, man, I can't get over that one either. The betrayal from Nice to do so well after I counted him out. I really felt like it was a slap in the face to me. It was just specifically like, "What the hell do you mean, Wardy? Bam, bam! Shut up! Listen to me. I'm the boss of this town." And he really made me shut up in that one. Not gonna lie. Aye. Alright, Void Ray coming up. We do have our warp gate coming through. 6 drones going down as the Oracle gets active across the map as well. Just gonna see a couple of similars coming through. The drones and the link speed continue to come about as well, so getting a few little bits and pieces up and running. A couple of gates morph into warp gate here. Just gonna see the Void Ray pulling off to the side. Gonna get straight in after the Overlord for a few moments as well, so just gonna get that on the go. Voidray activates, Overlord comes through as well. Again, Voidray in the Nexus will be coming up, the spawn in the lair. Point online as well, a few Overlords coming up. The rest of these units moving around. Just going to see the air weapon upgrade coming about as well. The fueling's just going to nip straight onto this for the moment, so we get that on the go. Go. Ling's going to get a wrap around. A couple of Adepts will take some damage. Adepts over here are going to be able to get a few drones, maybe? So they might get a couple more. Shade up to the high ground. This one Adept is in trouble. Oracle stays forward, might go off. Mixu deals with it well, just one drone getting caught. The entire situation, honestly, is pretty decent, but the Adept gets one more drone at the very end of this. That will finally be the end of it, though, at least, so things will at least come to a close now. Stargate, Fleet Beacon continue to build through. The Voidray and the +1 air weapons continue to come about as well. The drones transfer back over to the right-hand side, jumping onto that third base. And +1 air weapons, Stargate and the Fleet Beacon, a few extra probes, all that coming over. The Voidray in the sky going to get rid of a couple Zerglings here. It's punching through on that. And you see one Ling up into the main base already, going to come straight across and into position. The Fleet Beacon building, the Voidray and the air weapon upgrade coming through as well. Couple of Queens, couple of drones, the Infestation Pit continue to come about for now. Those extractors will be building as well. So a lot of this looking decent right here. Gets set up to rumble. And a few Zerglings just moving over to the top side, figuring out where they want to be. Voidray is trying to get rid of some Queens, but the Queens are actually doing the success on the other side. I mean, Nice is on his way to Flux Veins. Like, he's just committing to the Voidray gap at this point, but I'm kind of surprised that he is. I mean, it doesn't exactly feel great. It doesn't feel like it's going to do much, in all honesty, so can't say I'm loving it as the carrier Voidray, Flux Veins, and the air weapon upgrade all coming through right now. Just going to see that Hive coming up, a couple of drones on the way through, the Queen in production. Got the Spire building as well, so I mean, Spire's just smart and sensible for Mixu. He's down a bit of supply here, is probably going to lose his fourth base to these Voidrays. Gets a transfusion off. Just doesn't have enough units in position in time to really stop this from happening. So that base does go down, doesn't get a single Void in return. And now, Nice starts to move into carriers. Mixu's banking up some money, so he will have a little bit of a surge of supply kind of come into play once he finishes up the Spire here, for example. And he's on his way to Hive as well, so he's getting a lot of the tech up that he'll need. I think he'll need a lot of activity in this game to kind of try and keep Nice off a fourth base if possible. If you can keep him off that fourth base for a little bit longer, that would be neat. So if you can maybe do that, that would be cool. Mothership coming up as well, so bring that Mothership into play. It's going to be seeing the +2 air weapon still a part of this as well, so get that +2 air weapons up. Mothership coming by. Nidus, Network, Spire, Hatches, Duralings, Melee Upgrade, and Adrenal Glands all coming through. The Voidray is getting after the Overlord. Supply block on Mixu immediately here. You can see the Voidray is trying to get in after the Overlord there, and now the Queen's going to get back onto the Voids again. A little bit of action continuing. Overlord's taking some shots. A few hits coming through. The Ling's trying to run at the front, and the Zealot will say nuh-uh to those, pushing them back to the other side just for the moment. Do have our carriers still producing through, the Mothership on the way, the +2 air weapons, and that air armor coming up as well. Nice, never completes, and we do see the few Queens popping out, going to come over to the sides. Just going to see the Lings getting in there, wrapping around a little 3 carriers coming up. Again, the Stargate coming through. Boys will continue to evade as the Lings come through. A couple probes going down. A bit more cleanup is being made towards the tail end of this here so far. I mean, we get rid of the fourth base, we get rid of this Nidus network, but then there is going to be the Voiders going across the map, but they're going to get caught by the Corruptors. Nice, we'll lose 1 or 2. Just the one. Thought he might have lost that second one, but not quite happening in the end. Gonna Adrenal Glands, that melee upgrade continuing through. The Viper and the Corruptors continuing up. Tempest Carrier on the way as well. Air Armor still very much so a part of that as well. Carrier in the Mothership. continue building the play, the Lings gather up, and can we try and settle this down to the next phase of this game? The Revelation comes through. Oracle going to throw a Stasis Ward down as well. Just at the front, we get ourselves a few more batteries and cannon and stuff coming into place. Next in those Tempest building as well. Voidray also building into play in the next few moments. It's gathering, Queens, the Corruptors, the Lings gathering up as well, so we continue to get set there. The Revelation comes down, the Corruptors get chased away for a couple of moments, so again, just going to see a little bit of action on that. The Corruptors will linger, the Queen's going to join up. I do see a couple shots coming by, the Voidray is going to move forward here, looking to try and get a catch initially, not going to be able to do much. Time Warp comes down, a couple of those Zealots still coming through, the Parasite Bomb was there instantly as well from the Viper trying to help. The Corruptors honestly doing pretty well. As you get rid of the Voids, you get rid of one of the main things that gets rid of the Corruptors quickly, but the carrier count is still obviously pretty good. These Lings are just sat here, and I get it. Like, where are they meant to go? I mean, maybe you run at the third base or so, but I don't know if there's really a great target. Maybe just running in here and draining some battery energy would not be a bad thing, right? Like, we're going to knock down a pylon. Like, the static defense is going to be affected by these Zerglings, so we are actually going to see them coming in and being impactful towards the tail end of this fight. Mixu lost a lot of supply in the end, though, and I'm not sure he's going to be kind of happy with how he comes out of this. I think he's going to come out of this worse for wear overall, and his situation is probably not going to be feeling super pretty. And the Voidray and the Carriers and the Tempest continue to join up and put a bit more work in for now. I get the feeling that this one is looking as though Nice is maybe going to have a game back in this series, so bringing this back over a little bit. Hey, what's up, Schwartz? Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting. Thank you for helping the channel out and the StarCraft, so we appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Carriers and the Tempest all gather up. We do see a couple more units getting pinged away at, so a couple more cleanups being made for now. But yeah, I don't really see this long-term being overly successful. We see a few Lings are going to run across. Again, the pylon and the Nexus setting up as well here. It's going to be seeing the Voids and the Mothership building through. The +3 air weapons, +2 air armor. Again, little bits and pieces that come through for the moment as the Corruptor and the Infestors come out. Another Spire from Mixu. The problem is at this stage, I mean, he still has good economy. He's going to try and take another base, but this Protoss player got up to 4th base. You know, the Protoss economy just improved pretty heavily recently, so that's going to help a lot as well in the grand scheme of things here as those Corruptors continue to come by. Void's still building. +2 air armor coming about. The Corruptor's going to be there to push the Oracle back the other side just for the moment. And can keep the rest of this at bay for now. Well, the Corruptors will continue to build, and the Spire comes through. Like I said, just more upgrades that we're going to try and get to. I'll tell you what, Mixu's very badly upgraded. Only just now finishing the second upgrade of the game in terms of the carapace for the air units. So that lack of upgrades really feels like it's going to be one of the absolute killers for him in the long term of this, I gotta say. That part definitely feels like it's going to end up pretty sour in his mouth. Because this would have been a whole lot better if that maybe wasn't the case. Army comes down the left side, the Corruptors head over to the right. A few more Corruptors coming through, the Lings and the Viper are going to be there, a couple of Stargates coming up as well. Bringing up as much as we can currently. Come around the left side, just going to see that hatchery going to get jumped on pretty much just straight away, so it's going to take that down. I mean, can Mixu find a way to fight this army? I genuinely don't think we can, honestly. Just don't see it. You can see the Interceptors flying through, a couple Corruptors going down, but I will be honest, I will genuinely be a little bit shocked if we can actually make this happen some way, somehow. I just do not see this coming to life at this stage. The Lings are going to get shot away at, the Corruptors are going to continue through. We're just going to be seeing the Voidray is going to activate, going after a bunch of those Corruptors as well. You see the, I mean, some of the splash was nice, but it's just not going to be enough. Mixu, he went to try and kill this earlier in the game, and if you don't kill it early, it's probably not going to die. GG's, and we go to game 4. Nice brings it back a game, making this qualification process a little bit tougher for Mixu. Because he was on a roll, Mixu, and now that roll is going to be stopped. And that's what you want to see sometimes. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright. Next game coming in a moment, guys. Get this ready to go. It's going to be White Rabbit. One of I mean, that last map is pretty sizable, right? So when that last map is as sizable as it is, that's definitely kind of a factor as well. That's something else to kind of, you know, think on there, I suppose. Let me jump into this in just a second, guys. We are already on the countdown and getting ready to go. Although we stopped for a second because Nice is set as Terran. Try and get that fixed up. Hopefully Belair realizes he is also the host here. We're going to try and get this on the way for round 2 in a moment, guys. A bit of an awkward one. Alright, kicking this off, getting this going. Just a couple of moments, guys. Do. Jump in. We're going to have in the bottom left-hand side, the blue Zerg player. This is Mr. Mixu. Our blue Zerg, who is still up 2-1 in this series against Nice, whose air units definitely got the job done in that last game and put him onto the board in this series. Finally, at the last chance. Now he's got to keep that momentum going. Let's see what we can do in game 4. Nice tries to figure Mixu out here and tries to get himself a qualification spot into our 13th edition of the OSC Championship. Hatch gas pool, all coming about. Just going to be seeing the gateway and the probes coming around. Get settled in for the next few moments here. Where will things go? I don't update the sub goal because realistically the sub count is going to drop off like a lead balloon in the next probably. I mean, it's going to start at some point in the next few days, I think. It's just going to go down and down and down. So realistically, like, our sub goal is not 1,500 subs. Our sub goal is just to stay usually 700 subs. I updated to 1,000 because I thought 1,000 would be a fun push for December, but yeah, the TLDR is just like, the sub count's going to go down a lot because we're out of December into January. You know, a lot of gifted subs are going to start dropping off as well, for example. So yeah, we're just at that kind of stage. So I'm not going to update it to be higher. I'm just going to leave it where it is. And if we could somehow magically maintain 1,000 subs throughout this month, that would actually be amazing. But I genuinely think 1,000 subs would be a lofty goal at this point as well, to be honest. So yeah, basically just a case of yeah, all that. Why SC2 off season? No, not necessarily SC2 off season. Just like we just got a lot. Like December's a really good month for us, so like we got a lot of gifted subs in December. We do not get that many gifted subs. Like, to put it in perspective, the last time we were at 1,500 subs, or whatever sub count we're at right now, like 1,498, was over 2 years ago. Maybe even 3 years ago. Like, it was a long time ago. The last time we were above 1,000 subs before this was back in December of last year. So we didn't hit 1,000 subs all year until December. So it's just being realistic, basically. As yo, they got a cake. Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime. Let's keep it up there. Appreciate it. If you do want to keep it up there, Prime is a great way to do it. New Year resolution is to never give Wardy money. Smart. Smart, smart, smart. I'll save you a bunch, I'm sure. But yeah, not being negative, just being realistic overall is all. Eva Jimbo, a couple of drones coming about. The Queen's going to be there, hitting the Oracle back for a couple of moments, and we just get that set up for a little bit of time right there as well. I'm just going to see the Phoenix is going to be out, going to poke away at this Overlord, so going to poke through for that one for a moment or so. Overlord taking some damage and putting some work in. Obviously, melee upgrade is the choice here for Mixu, so he's going to go into that. The Phoenix first is so interesting, and it's one of those things where it's like, if you're going to build a Phoenix to go after Overlords, why are you not just building a Void Ray? It's probably what a lot of people would just ask in this current day and age, right? So, yeah, why are we not just building a Void Ray? That would be kind of my question as well, to be honest. What, he lives in the real world, not the dream world? Yeah. I'm actually really impressed about our Patreon count right now. Our Patreon count just hit $1,100 a month, which is incredible, because that helps us to fund our own tournaments. Obviously, this is not our tournament, this is OSC's event, but a lot of our events get funded through the Patreon and stuff, so the fact that that's just continuing to hit an all-time high and growing is amazing. Love to see that. Now, we're in a very good position right now. If we can take this December momentum and even just maintain a portion of it, that would be incredible. Just, because it would just make running some of the events I want to run this year a little bit more cozy, you know? A little bit more money to do that would be amazing, so that's my main goal. Just keep a little bit of this momentum would be nice. Not even a goal, just something we can try and be positive towards. Queen's going to come across. There's a couple of depths, going to take some damage. Going to take a bit of a beating right there. Taking a bunch of damage initially, as you see the Queens gathering up together. Things pulling back over. Again, melee upgrade, and so gathering through as well. So a little bit more of this setting up for now. It's going to be seeing the Temple Archives and the Robo Facility coming up, as well as everything else. So a lot of that going straight into play just for the moment here. Let's get that up and running. Oracles need to be careful. They are putting themselves in some dangerous positions. Already down one Oracle in this game, which, like I say, is maybe more than you would have liked to have been already. There's the Prism, the Charge, and the +1 attack upgrade coming through. The Temple Archive is going to be on the way with all of that as well. So keep on bringing a lot of that in. Both of those Oracles retreat back to the upper right side of the map. Again, the Hydra Den about halfway done. +1 missiles coming through. Drones, Overseer coming around. Zergling's on the way. Group team is building up. The Archon at the Charge and the +1. Again, little bits of everything continued in for the moment as the Oracle drops a little Revelation down on a few more Lings. Yo, what's up? Newcomb Riggs, thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime as well. I forgot about Prime, my bad. No worries. That's on me. I should be reminding you. That's my job as a streamer. Remind you guys that you have free money to use if you have a Prime sub. Thank you so much for the 2 months, mate. Thank you for priming us. Appreciate you. Oracle, Phoenix trying to move in toward the Queens there. Going to see a couple of Zealots. Going to work onto the hatchery. So the hatchery is going to be taking a few more shots. Trying to keep it alive with the transfusions. A couple of Hydras showing up. Now going to make a play onto the Prism. Kind of leaves the Zealots swinging though. But we do get one more transfused. So we're going to be able to save it. Fourth base stays alive. Mixu will not let this fall. But not sure how much that's going to do for him overall. Not sure if it's going to necessarily be enough here to completely set things back a little bit. We've seen the Ling Hydra still going to be there. The Prism still getting shoved away for a couple of moments. So again, a little bit of a push around on that for now. And Storm and the +2 attack coming up as well. Hydras and a few more Zerglings also producing through just currently. So again, a lot of that coming by at this current point. Also missiles, the Baneling Speed, Groove Spines also coming into play right there. So again, some extra bits and pieces going to be done pretty shortly. +2 and Storm going to be a part of this. The Ling Hydra going to start running through. Some of the Lings already slipping up over here, getting straight on in. So we'll love to see that. As the Hydras pull around, just going to be seeing the Lings up in the main base, and Mixu actually going to have a pretty good fight with these Hydras right here. Storm not done yet, and obviously no High Templar nearby as Storm does finish. So these Archons need to get out of reach of these Hydras. They're causing trouble, especially with the Lings distracting as well. These Hydras, I feel like, could have maybe done more. I'm surprised they didn't get more kills right off the bat on that. Really felt like that was going to be a little bit scarier overall, as you just see the Hydras still there. Now you can see how quickly they can get rid of things. You can see how quickly things begin to go down in that scenario, so you can see the value being provided for sure. The rest of this Hydra Zealot force comes back around, and we're just going to be seeing that's just going to be enough to do it. Mixu is going to take the 3-1, and we're going to wrap it up on that, as that is going to be our series. That is going to be our series. Alrighty, guys, that's just going to do it. Damn. That was kind of brutal, no? That's kind of a brutal match. Mixu showing up and showing some power and qualifying into the OSC Championship, which means we do have the full OSC Championship roster submitted. Now, don't think the bracket will be live for a little bit yet, but obviously the upper bracket is live. Already in the upper bracket, we have the players that finished 1st through 20th in the OSC season this year, which are going to feature Hero, Max, Pax, Beyond, Showtime, Clem, Solar, Classic Percival, Creator Nightmare, Skiller, Shin, Geralt, Yakov, Kua, Rebellion, Shameless, Jumi, Nicorakt, and Christiana. So all of that is going to be a kind of a starting point. And then, on top of all that, yes, we will have all those players that join us in the lower brackets. That's Art, Lemon, Mana, Mindel, VK, Sebezdez, Trigger, Aiden Breen, Milky Cow, Cham, GG Machine, as well as Mixu, as well as our other Art, the Russian Art, who also qualified today as well. So that's going to be all of that you guys can look forward to, and that is going to be our OSC Championship bracket this year. And that starts on January 6th, so we don't have the full schedule yet. We just know on January 6th that we will have some StarCraft 2 for you guys, and that will be... I don't know if Korean Nightmare is going to be the first match. I've got no idea what the schedule is. But this will begin on January 6th on Tuesday, so in 2 days' time, you can tune in for that. So, that is that. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We are going to be moving on now as... Yo, look at that. We hit 1,500 subs. See, I don't even need to update the number. You guys just hit 1,500 subs anyway. Beautiful. So yeah, super looking forward to covering that throughout January. Thank you to OSC for having us for these Challenger brackets throughout the last little while as well. We appreciate it. And my friends, we're going to go jump into some 2v2 action. So thank you so much to OSC. We appreciate you guys. Like I say, we're going to jump into some 2v2. Am I going to reset the YouTube? What do you guys think? I feel like the YouTube is at low enough viewership that we should just reset it. So I'm going to do that. Let me just make a YouTube thumbnail for it, actually. Let's just delete that. Live thermals 2v2 circuit. Hide this. Move that down. Yeah, let's just do it like this. Let's just send it. So yeah, we're going to jump into the Thermals 2v2 circuit, the first stop of the year. Oh, I've done this wrong. Oops. A bit bigger again. Cool. Live 2v2. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a new YouTube event, guys. I'm going to send you guys there. So I should be able to send you guys straight over from one YouTube event to the next. So I'm going to try to do that. Doesn't always... Well, actually, it does usually work, but let's just see what I can do. Live. Thermal 2v2 circuit, January. Who's actually signed up today? I need to look at the bracket. Hang on. Cyril, Clem, etc. Cool. the chat channel? Thermal. Cool. Alright, well, so they're going to be already kind of round of 8-ish, guys, so we're just going to join in and just go from there. And just see what we can do. Just trying to find out where we want to be. Alright, let me set this up on YouTube. Done. Alright guys, if you're on YouTube, you will be sent over to our next stream page. So I will see you guys there. You should just get sent over automatically, but if not, just check the channel. You should be able to find it. Edit. Pin that. Close this. Edit command. Bracket like this. Complete that. Run ads because why not? Redirect ad to thermal TV2 circuit. Save, although I need to actually edit that still because I messed it up. Look at that, guys. Made a thumbnail and I didn't actually create the thumbnail. Smart. Analytics. Stream settings. Edit. Thumbnail. Change. January. Boom. Save. Sweet. I will send you guys over there on YouTube, so I'll see you guys on the new YouTube page in a couple seconds, guys.